7 a.m. Thursday, March the 6th on Jux 94.5. Welcome into McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Lots to get to today. Nate Oates, we'll hear from him after Alabama goes down to Florida last night. It was a tough loss, G-Mac, for the Crimson Tide. Probably not one of the better shooting nights, specifically from the paint. This feels like it's been about 3 games in a row now where somehow, some way, Alabama has struggled near the rim, which it just sounds odd saying that because it doesn't feel like it should ever be a real thing, but somehow, some way it has been.
Yeah, and at one point struggling pretty mightily with free throws too. I mean, just easy points that for whatever reason they can't seem to knock down. I mean, last night free throw shooting plagued them again. At one point, I think they had like 4 of 11 that they had made, or 4 of 10 that they had made from the line over a certain stretch. And then, if you look, also, that was until Cliff, by the way, made a few down the stretch. If you look, also dating back to the Tennessee game, that was a problem. So it's frustrating a little bit, but they also kind of went into a swoon last year at this time. So that's why I'm not pressing the panic button at this point.
But if there are extra concerns that have arisen, if there are things that have popped up in the last couple of games, you look at this Alabama team now, they're 2-4 in their last 6 after starting 21-3. 99-94, Florida gets the win. Alex Condon was great. I think he's the most underrated player in the SEC. 27-10 last night. Florida out-rebounds Bama 50-35, and that's another area that they mostly have been pretty good this year. It's an area that we've talked about with Nate Oates' team has improved, has gotten better. And it just was not a strength last night at all.
No, but I also look at Condon and there were some moments where I thought he was going to potentially exit the game. I mean, he had 4 fouls for how long? I mean, he was in foul trouble for a majority of it, felt like. I think he played the final 4 minutes with 1 foul left to give. Maybe final 5 minutes. I don't know exactly when he got his last foul, but I mean, gosh, I mean, he was playing kind of on a fine line. He's a good player. I mean, there's no denying he's a good player. Florida's excellent. There's no surprise that they're as good as they are. Been saying all along, I think in the SEC, they could be the team with the highest ceiling. We saw what they did in Neville Arena a couple weeks back. I mean, this is a really, really talented team. So, yeah, it's disappointing to lose at home. Disappointing to lose senior night. But hopefully sets the stage for what should be a big opportunity on Saturday.
It's John and I spent a little time talking about this yesterday. It really depends on what side of the fence you're on. A lot of people are going to say, hey, get the loss out of the way, try to go clean some things up. And specifically with the SEC tournament, maybe not having to play through Sunday, get a little bit of extra rest. But other people are going to say you don't want weaknesses showed. It's like if you heard Bruce Pearl after the game the other night, I mean, he talked about, listen, the book is out. I mean, he went off. He said, the book is out. If it's me, I'm backing my team down inside. I'm going to try to be physical. I'm going to try to out-rebound us. And it was a little unnerving to hear Bruce say it the way that he did after that Texas A&M game. But either way, yeah, you don't want weaknesses to show up that people could potentially exploit. And it's hard to imagine that some would show up this late. And maybe that just gives a little extra confidence to other teams. That would be my fear, G-Mac, heading into tournament time.
Yeah, I'm not one that usually is like, oh, they need to lose one because it'll sharpen them going into it. Like, I'd rather win all my games. Because at that point, then I might not have had a flaw exposed. But clearly, there's been flaws on this team kind of from the beginning. The thing that's troubling is now high percentage baskets, free throw shooting, and turnovers have been problematic the last few weeks. When it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, just turnovers. Now it's a whole host of other issues that have arisen. Doesn't mean it can't get cleaned up, but it is a little frustrating. I am, and defense, I guess, too, if we're going to use defensive effort as an area of concern as well. That would be something that would be bothersome also. But I still, like I said, it'd be easy to press the panic button. I'm not going to, but there is something up with this team. I mean, the team we saw 2 months ago feels better than the team we're watching now. I don't know if they've lost some confidence or if they're just banged up, but they don't feel like they're operating with anywhere near as much precision as they were a few months back.
And some of that could be fatigue. Some of that could be, guys being banged up, being dinged up. When we talked about Janai Broome, he's got back-to-back games where he hadn't gone for over 10 points. And you would imagine some of that is just not being 100%, specifically just from where you are in the calendar and how many games you have under your belt. So it's
if you
difficult.
Look at him, though. I mean, the shoulder was clearly bothering him all night on Tuesday night. So, and A&M wants to make it a bloodbath. That's the way they play. So I don't think I'm as worried about Janai Broome because he's going to have some time here soon to rest up. At some point, he's going to have some time where he's not going to have to play a midweek game on Tuesday or Wednesday and then a game again on Saturday. I know he had one probably 3, 4, 5 weeks ago, but he's in desperate need of a little time to kind of decompress and get that shoulder right.
You think about this Florida basketball team, too, these lulls that we're talking about maybe with Auburn, with Alabama. They had theirs a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Just kind of coming out of that now, it feels like. Nate Oates says that this Florida team deserves a lot of credit for how they played in Coleman Coliseum last night.
Give Florida a lot of credit. I mean, they came in, they played us tough. They looked like they had more energy, to be honest with you. So I don't know if it's a lag from the tough loss at Tennessee, if our guys are just tired. I don't know. But to get out rebounded by 15. We knew they're a tough rebounding team, but we're usually better than that when we go into a game knowing we got a rebound. So, it seemed like they beat us to about every 50-50 ball. They obviously destroyed us on the glass. Second chance points, they had us doubled. I think we gave up 26 fast break points, according to our stats, which is terrible. 26 fast break, 19 second chance, it's 45. That's about half their points came on second chance and transition. So we got to be better. It doesn't matter what your game plan is if you don't get back on defense.
We asked Nate about this the other couple of weeks ago, Greg, when he was on the show. Do you think there are any football coaches that look at stats the way that basketball coaches do, either at halftime or after games, and reference them as much? He does it a lot. He's definitely not the only one. I think 95% of them go to the stats immediately at halftime or after games. And it's wild to me how either interested they are or how much they lean on them or what they get from them. Cause every now and then you'll get a football coach after the game that's like, what were we on third down? Oh, wow. 2 of 20. That's probably one reason we lost. But they just don't immediately reference it the way that some basketball coaches do. It's one area that is just very different, I feel like.
Well, with basketball, I feel like the stats are more indicative of the bottom line. I mean, if you're shooting 31%, it's pretty obvious that you're going to be struggling offensively. If you had next to no rebounds and you weren't getting great effort on the glass, if you're turning the ball over like crazy, then that's problematic. If you're giving fast break points and they're not getting back in transition, I feel like basketball is really a stat-driven game.
It tells more of the story,
way
more clearly.
More of the story.
Yeah.
Like football, it's you can look at Ashton Genty and think that his offensive line's good if you just look at the stats. But then you watch the game and you're like, offensive line's really not good. Ashton Genty's good.
It does work a little bit different sometimes, and maybe not as clear as it could be with basketball. You think about this Florida basketball team, though, what they're doing, you might not realize the history within this season. They've now won 3 games against top 10 opponents. Their most since the 2010-2011 season, which was also just 3. They also won 3 road games against top 10 opponents under Todd Golden. That's more than any other coach in team history ever. Billy Donovan, 2 wins against top 10 teams on the road. Tommy Barlett, 2 wins against top 10 teams on the road all time. So now you're looking at Todd Golden. He's done that more than any other coach in Florida basketball history. Just kind of a wild number to throw out because you didn't really feel like that's with some of the basketball teams we've seen down there. You feel like that probably would have happened a little bit more often.
Yeah.
Specifically with where Kentucky was also around that time, they would have had the opportunities. But that's just kind of one of those weird ones that's out there.
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's definitely one of those weird ones for sure.
Mark Sears, 30 points last night, 6 boards, 5 assists, first career game with 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. However, not his first game over 20 points. He's done that 48 times now at Alabama. That's one shy of tying another SEC player for the most 20-plus point games by an SEC player over the last 20 seasons. I bet I could give you 100 guesses on this, and you would not get it. Most 20-point games in SEC play the last 20 seasons.
Most 20-point games.
Conrad, who just walked in, can't even get it.
Most 20-point games in the last 20 seasons. It's going to have to obviously be a contingent that did not play one and done. So that makes it a little bit easier. Guys that were there for multiple years. Dalton Connect.
That's a great guess, but no. I mean, way too easy of a guess, by the way.
But do they have to be in the SEC? Like, so if Jedi Broom, for example, his 20-point games at Morehead State, did they count?
Yeah, because Mark Sears, I mean, he had time not in the SEC, but these are 20-point games at Alabama. So we're counting his SEC games. Yeah, it could be a transfer. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if this guy was, because I'm not sure I knew who this guy was before I found this.
Oh, well, if you don't know who he is, then there's a very small percentage chance that I'm going to know who he is.
John, you want to take a shot at it?
I will go Boogie Cousins.
How about old Devin Downey for South Carolina? Actually, I shouldn't have told you the team. I should have told you asked you who he played for.
Oh,
I don't think you might would have gotten that one.
Was he part of the Final Four run for South Carolina?
Couldn't tell you.
What years? We have those.
Devin Downey.
Big Dev.
Played point guard at South Carolina from 07 to 10 and was a transfer. Played also at Cincinnati.
Then definitely not.
From Chester, South Carolina.
Chester.
You know what the South Carolina state food is?
Corn dog.
Absolutely not.
Hot dog on a donut. Or, burger on a donut.
It would probably be better than what theirs is. Better question. We had this practice yesterday. You missed it. You know what the state food of Texas is?
I'm going to say brisket.
Wrong. And Billy Lucci nailed it on his first guess, which shocked us all.
Should be brisket.
Chili.
It's also a good one.
In Texas, though?
Yeah, dude, chili rips.
It's 190 half the year.
It's also 10, at least 7 days a year.
7.
Those 7 days rip, though, with chili. It gets colder in Texas than it does here by a mile.
Do you know the do you know the motto? The state motto?
Don't mess with Texas.
That was John's first guess.
Don't tread on me.
It's actually friendship.
Oh,
that's it.
Soft.
That's it.
Whew,
that's what it used to be.
That's all. Just friendship.
Not nowadays.
That's why they changed the name of the Red River Shootout. They said, remember,
Red
guys,
River Friendship.
We're all about friendship here. We should change that name.
We want to be friends with our hat neighbors.
There you go. So, yeah.
I honestly am amazed at some of the things that we come up with when it comes. Like, I did know that the state flower for Texas is the bluebonnet.
Oh.
I didn't know the state. I actually don't know the bird. I think it's a quail. No, California's a quail.
That actually does. I had no idea ever why it was the Bluebonnet Bowl. I thought it was sponsored related somehow.
No,
I really did.
What did you think? Bluebonnet was an ice cream? That's a Bluebell. Relax.
No, I know that it is. No, the Bluebonnet Bowl was in like the 70s and 80s. It was before Bluebell ice cream, I believe.
Stop. Bluebell was Ripon and Brenham. / College Station.
Is there not a Bluebonnet company? Like a Bluebonnet something?
Yeah. I think they make ice cream.
They sell hats.
Bluebonnet. Is it the hamburger place? It's a joke. It's not a good one, but it's a joke.
I don't know the Bluebonnet. That must be a Southern thing. That must have been a Southern kid growing up in the 70s. Yeah,
there's a Bluebonnet restaurant, Tex-Mex in Denver. Just exactly what I was thinking.
They make a knockoff butter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Bluebonnet regular spread, not complicated spread.
Not margarine, just
so it's Land O'Lakes
regular
competitor.
I will say when I was a kid,
they're competing.
Butter / margarine marketing was confusing. I used not like what
they are different things.
I see these, but I used to wonder like, what's the difference between margarine, butter, and then who had the spread, and then I believe It's Not Butter came out with like powder.
Yeah, I can't believe It's Not Butter used to always be in our fridge. I was like, this is nasty.
I just remember seeing those country car commercials. Like, what's the difference? Like, what's the difference in that and Land O'Lakes?
I don't know. I'm not a butter enthusiast.
You gotta be careful with the old country. Pull a Tom Hart on the air. It's not good.
I'm all for using butter at. Well, we do have a little bit of a revelation in the McElroy house. We have for the last couple of years been using butter at room temp which my grandma used to do. So we have no need for margarine. If we got butter at room temp, we're cooking. We're fine.
Your grandma did that too? Just left it out?
Yeah.
My wife does that.
Yeah.
Because I always put the butter up. And she's like, why'd you put the butter in there?
I grew up in a house.
Butter goes in the fridge.
Yeah.
You don't want it to go bad.
Yeah.
Doesn't it
milk.
essentially melt?
Yeah.
It doesn't go bad.
And she's like, no, the butter stays out, so it's not hard to.
Correct.
I was like, that does make sense.
It does.
You heat that bagel up and you're just like mashing that down there, just not working, and you tear your bagel up or your toast or whatever.
Yep, it's true.
You got to sit there and wait for it to melt on the waffle.
Yep.
Yeah. I had never seen that in my life until my mother-in-law and then now my wife.
This is a few years in the making. It has not been a long-term thing. I think really since we moved into this house. So maybe 2018, thereabouts. I don't know. But yeah, we have not been a butter in the fridge kind of family for a while. My grandma used to do it. My mom always had it in the fridge. We didn't even have plates hardly at our house. It was like paper plates. Like everything had to go in the trash.
Hand?
Yeah, no. It's like my mom is what you call a minimalist. She does not like things out. Oh. So there will never be butter out. God forbid.
Buffet style.
Yeah. No, things are put away. Like it is if there's something out, like we don't even have pictures of our family out. Like, no, that's clutter. Don't need it.
I see you all the time. Why don't I need to see you on the wall?
100%. Don't need a picture of you. I know what you look like. I think there's two pictures of one of me in graduating, like my graduation's picture from high school, like 3 pictures or whatever. And then one of my sister with 3 graduation pictures. And then my mom has like a credenza with like our handprints, our bronzed shoes, and that's it. You take those 4 items out of the house, you wouldn't even know we
forgot
existed.
about the old bronze shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That used to be in everyone's home.
Guess what my bronze shoes are? You'll love this.
Nikes.
Well, duh.
Air Challenge Court 2.
No, Jordan 1s. High tops. Fire. How mad are they? They're like this big.
That sounds like what Texas would do.
Yeah. Actually, it was California, but it was fine.
Oh, that definitely is California.
That was California. That was California Greg.
I remember everybody's house you went to as a kid, they had those shoes hanging out somewhere.
Do you not have them? I have them in my house. Our kids have
my
theirs.
grandparents have them. Now I haven't seen any in a while. I don't think we did them for our kids.
Well, the first pair of shoes that Vince ever owned were Jordans, and I wanted badly and they were Jordan 11 Concords. And I wanted badly for those to be Vince's bronze shoes. Mary said, no.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's a good try.
They asked me if we wanted to do it, and I was like, we don't give out bronze in this house. We're going gold only.
We can go 14 karat. We'll save some money.
We don't play for third. Watch this. We'll go down to Bromberg's and make those things platinum. Speaking of which, at Bromberg's, you can find some good gifts for your loved one.
They could probably do it. I don't know if they have bronze shoes. I really don't know the answer to that, but I do know this. They have natural diamonds. I knew they have natural gemstones. I know they have beautiful pieces of jewelry that your family will love and cherish for years and years and years, maybe in some cases for generations. It's just this experience that you have. It's an elevated experience. When you walk into Bromberg's, it's always great. The sales staff's amazing. The selection's amazing. They do an incredible job of sourcing their diamonds. So it's going back when you purchase that diamond, it's going back to a community that desperately needs it. It's just a really cool place to go and make some memories. So highly recommend going and checking out Bromberg's in Mountain Brook Village and at the Summit.
Some interesting feedback on Alabama basketball coming in. We'll get to that on the other side. 800-239-9569. If you want to get in, you let us know your concerns moving forward. Has your ceiling changed for Alabama hoops? Also, Devin Downey quickly at South Carolina. Honorable mention All SEC. He was SEC All Defensive Team. And most notable game was January 26, 2010. He put 30 up against undefeated Kentucky. That was the first loss for John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, John Calipari and company that year.
Oh, I remember that one.
Should have remembered that one. So,
I mean,
he did sign with KK Gazard in Croatia. I'm surprised I haven't seen the tape on him.
That's your team. They're the Man United of Croatia.
By the way, 5'9", 170.
5'9",
170. Had some quicks, I bet.
Yeah.
I don't remember. We were talking about 2010 like it was 1910, but I don't remember him at all.
I watched him. If he played in 07, 08, we went to every single Bama home game. So if we played him at home, we saw him. But ain't nobody got time for him.
Somebody's asking when do you panic, Greg? We'll answer that question next on McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. $7:23. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. You can listen online, jocksfm.com. The app is in your app store, iPhone, Android. Download that for free. Also, watch live on YouTube every day. Just search Jocks945. 800-239-9569 if you want to get in and discuss this Alabama basketball team, where it's headed, where it's going. Bama on the practice field in football yesterday. We'll discuss that a little bit later in the show. But Mark tweets into the show, Greg, at Mac and Cube, you want to be a part. Greg, when do you panic? This team has no heart, no guts, and truly acts disinterested. It concerns me that Oates can't get them motivated. They got beat by a team that more often than not that had three white guys on the floor, none of which will ever make you forget Bird. I just read the tweets, folks, literally. So everyone is aware. That was read off of the computer screen. And there was hesitation, but I didn't feel like there was a workaround. So I just read it. That's all it is. Reading tweets on air. That's what just happened.
Did I not realize in the age of Cooper DeJean and Mac McClung, like, we back up? Like, come on now.
Is it far to take somebody who wasn't in school yesterday and let him play?
I don't know, but I mean, if they got three, they're out here looking like IO cornerbacks, man. Come on.
Maybe you hadn't seen Alex Condon play before. I bet Auburn fans know about him. because he worked Auburn over too.
I'd say Purdue was pretty good last year. Anyways, looking, I'm not panicking because it's the regular season in college basketball. I hate to break it to you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Regular season college basketball, it just positions you for a more manageable postseason run. Alabama is still, shockingly enough, in control of their own destiny to win the national championship. How about this? Even crazier. Alabama could lose the next 2, and they're still in control of their own destiny to win the national championship. Will they? Probably not. But it's still very possible. It is very possible. So no, I don't panic until the tournament.
Okay.
You had an audible laugh out loud moment over there. Another good tweet.
Yes.
What was it? Appropriate?
I want to stay with basketball first. It's appropriate, but it's a different subject. Do you think coaches will rest players in the SEC tournament to prepare for March Madness? No, I think they already would have done it.
Yeah, I don't think it does you any good at this point.
Do you not think that you would have rested them down the stretch? I mean,
Yeah.
that would have made more sense.
I mean, there's incentives built into these coaches' contracts to win the SEC, so I think they'll probably play them.
Back to Blue Bonnet in the Blue Bonnet Bowl. Pickleback tweets in, yeah, everything tastes better with Blue Bonnet on it. Spencer Moore, Blue Bonnet butter. Everything is better with Blue Bonnet on it was the popular ad jingle. I've never heard it. I don't know how I missed that. I do know that Russell Terry hits a home run here. The best thing about Country Crock was not knowing if you were going to butter your toast or get leftover spaghetti. God, that's the best tweet of the week. It's just so real. It's so good. That's actually happened to me before.
Yeah.
And it was actual spaghetti. You open that thing up, you got a bagel warm or some toast, or you just hit an Eggo down in the toaster, and then the aroma would ruin it all. It would just destroy it. Or you get some leftover corn, and you're like, it's 7:35. I'm late for school. I just want a bagel. And now you get corn. Nobody wants that. Russell, very well done there. Sorry, that threw me off because it just that one hit home. But you did Blue Bonnet, so you didn't have that. Correct?
You asking me?
Yes.
No, we didn't have Blue Bonnet. We didn't have any of that. We had Country Crock, but
okay.
We didn't eat a lot of spaghetti that I can recall. And I definitely don't remember whether or not we used the Country Crock as
leftovers. Yeah, that happened to my
I don't know. No, I don't recall. I don't remember. Honestly, is that bad?
No, it's not bad.
I feel like I should remember that.
It's one of those things from my childhood that I remember hit hard because you were so excited about maybe getting that Eggo going. You already had the syrup out, and then just spaghetti aroma hits you right after you've awakened. It's not what you wanted, not what you needed at that point in the day. And that happened a lot.
I was never like a big spaghetti, like pasta guy. It wasn't my thing. Like,
we didn't do it a ton. We did it occasionally.
Did you?
But it could have been meatloaf in there, and you're just like, "Whoa, not what I wanted in the morning." It just ruined it. Ruined all of it, every bit of it. So yeah, we'll avoid the Florida lineup and their demographic details moving forward and discussing the rest of that on the show. We will talk a little bit of Alabama spring when we come back on the other side next on McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. $7:32, Thursday, March the 6th. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, 800-239-9569. If you want to get in, talk Alabama spring football, which we will in just a moment. Also talk Alabama basketball, to which Jolly tweets in, why panic over Bama basketball? Are there some concerns? Sure, GMAC is right. Tournament is where rubber meets the road. Bama definitely has some things to clean up moving forward. So there you go. And Russell Terry again, second win of the day, silver medal. Greg doesn't know about Country Crock because of, well, Highland Park.
I'm not from Highland Park.
This is your time in Los Angeles, correct?
I'm also not from Highland Park. I'm from South Lake. Very different. Very, very different.
How is Highland Park's football team?
Good. Matt Stafford and M1 State the same year we did. Except
when did they transfer in?
They were in 4A. I don't know about Matthew. I think Matthew was there from the get-go.
Really?
Yeah.
Highland Park OG?
His two receivers are two twins. They were awesome players. Just not very big guys. They played lacrosse, actually, at Denver. Both of them. But they were a little twitchy, tough to contain guys. We can get some
Blue Bonnet Tex-Mex up there.
Yeah, I mean, Highland Park's breaded, for sure.
I don't think anybody denies that.
They ain't po. No. But I can tell you what we ain't. South Lake ain't Highland Park. We're the Dragons, not the Scots.
Wow. They're the Scots?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is their mascot a terrier?
No. I think it's a Scottish guy playing a
bagpipe.
That
feels like a butter crowd.
I feel like that'd be more of a margarine crowd.
Oh no, that's butter.
I think they're a takeout crowd.
Takeout.
Ain't nobody cooking
Personal
in Highland
chef.
Park.
Personal chef crowd.
I think it might be one of the only zip codes in America where you legitimately cannot find a item or a real estate listing under $2.5 million. They breaded.
So they don't know what Dollar General is.
They ain't seen Dollar General.
Or a dollar, period.
They ain't seen dollars. Put it this way, they're not pinching. If a penny's on the ground, they ain't picking it up. Maybe even a quarter. Maybe even a 5.
I can get you info on all the team, and I can get you to Kirk Dooley's blog, but I don't have anything on the mascot. They are the Scots, but I don't have a mascot photograph or anything. So I don't know if it's a dog, if it's a man playing the bagpipes. I don't have it. It's not here. They're not worried about that.
No, not worried about it. Good guys, actually. Get a bit of a bad rap. Are they rich? Yes, but it's not their fault. Their parents are rich. The guys are good guys. They really are. I have a lot of friends that went to school. They're perfectly fine human beings. Like them fine. They're not snooty. They're not what you think. Good folks, but we would have worked them in football.
Wow. Just putting it out there like that, huh?
We would have. We were 5A. They were 4A. We would have smashed them.
Okay.
We ain't play.
They have an indoor facility?
If they wanted one, they could, but their real estate is a little bit on the pricey side.
Got it. I never stopped any rich folk before.
Well, I mean, it's just, I think putting up an indoor facility would be bad business. And in Highland Park, they don't do bad business.
Louis DeArmond tweets in, how Texas would a batch of leftover chili be in a tub of Blue Bonnet? I don't know if Blue Bonnet came in tubs, but yeah, that would have the exact same effect of just ruining your morning. Thinking you were about to get delicious breakfast food, and then the odor of cold chili just nails you in the nostril. Not what we want. We do want to know who Alabama's quarterback going to be, and we heard from Ryan Grubb yesterday after practice discussing Ty Simpson. Greg said he made the biggest jump from day 1 to day 2. It's not overly surprising based on being in the system. Grubb will bring some differences, of course, but he's the most veteran-laced quarterback they have, so you would anticipate that he would make the biggest jump from day 1 to day 2.
Do we just give him the Heisman now?
I don't know if I'm going to go that far.
Let go. Gosh, it'd be so awesome if he won the Heisman. I would be so happy. I
just don't feel like that's going to be
it's a little early.
Kind of a real thing for that offense and for his skill set. But hey.
I mean, I think Michael Penix finished second.
Penix can sling it around a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, who knows?
Sure.
You never know.
You said yourself they're not going to have the same type receivers they had at Washington. So
no.
one maybe, but I don't know if they're going to have 3. I just don't think that that's, number one, how they're going to want to operate or need to operate. Also said that some of the command that Austin Mack brought to the table, impressive. And a big fan of Keelan Russell, even though some mistakes were made, but still handled himself well and obviously a playmaker. So about it, what you would expect to hear from Alabama's OC early in spring practice discussing that position?
About what you'd expect, yeah. But then again, I mean, you look at Keelan, he's a young buck, man. I mean, you're not going to, if he were to come in and light it up those first couple days when you're still learning the terminology, you're still getting comfortable with the terminology, you're speaking a new language, and the defense is installing a lot of stuff these first few days as well. Think about how many times Ty Simpson's gone through an install. A bunch, right? Every fall and spring for the last handful of years. This is the first time Keelan's gone through it. So it's tough. It's a tough defense to go against. I mean, all the different stuff they're going to throw at him.
Okay.
I'm not at all concerned about their progress being made at all.
At quarterback.
No. I think they're going to continue to get better at quarterback because this is the first time that Ty's ever really been able to not have to split the reps 5 ways. A couple of years ago, I mean, hey, how many guys were in the running?
Yeah, there were a couple.
Golly, it was ridiculous. I went to practice like, what are we doing? I mean, I saw 4 or 5 different guys that were taking number 1 reps. And I remember sitting there on the side talking to some friends of mine and talking to a couple of the coaches like, is this normal? Are they doing this every day? Like, yeah, every day. I'm like, what? It's crazy, man.
Almost like you're about to go with the playoffs there.
You just can't rep. You can't rep 5 guys to try to pick one. You can't do it. It doesn't work. And they're repping at least 3 or 4. Seriously.
Did you see the text I just sent you?
Yes.
Is that a relative of yours' phone number?
I
think it probably is.
No. And it looks like it, though. The first 6 numbers are my dad's number.
Okay, well, then that's got to be
the last 4 are not.
That's odd. But there's your mascot. He looks fierce. It's not a bad mascot.
Super fierce.
I don't know if people are afraid of Scots in general, but it's better than a Scottish Terrier.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Aren't paper towels?
Can be. I think we're more of a brawny state.
Oh, right. I mean, we got a good motto.
Guys wearing flannel on
good food and everything in Texas.
Absolutely. No blue bonnet here. Country, croc, and brawny is where we go. By the way, my wife has these paper towels. The brand starts with a V. And it's one of the most annoying things in our household because you can't rip down the perforated line. It does not happen. I'm telling you, every single time that I pull a paper towel off that roll, it is not coming straight down the perforated line. And why we continue to buy these and think that these are superior to ones that you can rip down the perforated line and just get your sliver of a paper towel that you want.
Get your sliver.
Instead of literally like the state of Vermont every time you pull it off. I have no idea why we keep doing this. I don't understand it. I don't know. I think it has been passed down, not necessarily pointing finger at mother-in-law or father-in-law, but I do think that it came from that household. So it's not completely their fault that we've continued this, but
it ain't yours.
Why we think superior paper towel would be one that you literally 1 out of 1,000 times get the exact rectangle that you are attempting to get off said roll, I do not know. But it's obviously not going to change because I've actually gone to the store and purchased other ones. And then it has just been revamped right back into this brand. I don't know the name. I believe it starts with a V, but I wish they'd go away and go out of business.
I think they're the soft ones, which I kind of like, but then when you can't get a rectangle, it ain't worth it. Nope.
This is ridiculous. It's embarrassing, honestly. Imagine someone came to your house and had a little spill and said, "Could you give me a paper towel?" And you hand them California. Sorry, that another one that's personal for me this morning.
That's just not one
I think it's Viva.
Yeah.
Which there's nothing to celebrate about them.
No.
I just don't know why this is the hill that you want to die on.
Because I would like to get a rectangle of paper towel every now and then.
You want
just
Arizona,
one time. Just
not
once.
Maryland.
Exactly.
You want Colorado.
I even take Tennessee. Just like a little angle on the edge that was ripped off. I'd be fine with that.
Alabama, not South Carolina.
Yeah. Oklahoma would be fine. Take that there.
See ya.
Yeah, that is just y'all got me mad on that one.
Alaska, not Hawaii.
There you go. All right, we will come back, talk a little bit more Alabama football. What is Greg's biggest concern this spring on the offensive side of the ball, and what group does he think can improve the most? We'll discuss that right after this on Mac and Cube in the morning.
It's sick. It's beautiful, man.
7:45 Thursday, March 6th, right here on McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. If you want college basketball, today is your day. We also had Oklahoma taking out Missouri yesterday, which after our visit with Joe Lenardi, that's a massive win for Oklahoma. Not just to get a win at this point in the year to attempt to get into the tournament, but a good win against a top 15 Missouri team, which just I still a little bit confused as to how confident folks are that Oklahoma is going to get in, but that's one that they needed and that they got. It was huge. Ole Miss, a big win yesterday, late last night against Tennessee. Buzzer beater to get that one done. Unfortunately, stayed up for it. Second win against a top 5 team in program history. First time in program history, they've done it twice in a season. First time in program history, they have multiple top 5 wins in a single season. So just a huge win for Ole Miss last night. They get to 21-9. Tennessee goes to 24-6. Could hurt their chances of ending up on the 1 line. By the way, Jeremiah Fears for Oklahoma last night, 31 points, 9 of 13 from the floor, 12 of 12 from the free throw line. Alabama took out Troy in baseball, 3-1. UAB over Auburn last night, 6-5 in baseball. We had Casey Dunn on the show yesterday. And today, if you're looking for hoop, you're in luck.
Oh, boy.
You've got Jacksonville and UNA in the A-Sun semifinals at 6 o'clock. Do you say semi or semifinals?
Semi.
Because we have a doctor that listens to the show that knows the correct pronunciations of everything, and he will tweet in and tell us.
I've always said semi.
Yeah, it's Hakeem's friend in Coming to America.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Do you have words in your vocabulary that you say two ways?
No.
Yeah.
I do too. Semi and semi are one.
Like a truck is a semi.
You never say semifinals.
Never.
No,
Okay.
it's semi.
Semi.
I do basil and basil.
Tomato,
What?
tomato.
I feel like that's too uppity.
You mean basil? Like the herb?
Or herb.
Basil is
Like winches?
an herb. Basil is a herb.
2 days in a row. Good morning, Herb. Good morning, Herb. How
Hello,
you doing?
Herb.
I don't think I've ever referenced Herb Vincent as Herb.
No. Or Herb Hancock. No.
Oh, there's another one that I could say two ways. I can't remember what it is.
I'm going to call him Herb Vincent. URB, Herb.
Like everybody in the club getting tips.
Yes.
Yes. God, there's one that's a popular one, and I know good and well I say it both ways.
I do Caribbean and Caribbean.
That's, I think,
Caribbean.
yeah.
I don't just say, I mean, it's.
I don't think there
You
is
going down
one.
to the Caribbean, like you never play Caribbean stud. It's always Caribbean stud, and they've taken that out of most casinos, by the way, because you could cheat in that game.
Well,
Trust
I'll
me,
tell
I
you
know.
one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one that I say multiple
Ryan Hooker
ways.
and I ran a table for hours at the Palms one night, and I cannot believe they didn't kick us out of there.
There is one interesting word that I say multiple ways.
Okay.
And it's the word Cooper
Cooper?
or Cuppa. It has to. It like there are some people that I'm friends with that their last name is spelled Cooper, but it's pronounced Cuppa. That it's
You
basically
sure it's not
pronounced
just the individual?
perhaps.
But it is. Like, you can't reference Cooper Manning as Cooper because Archie calls him Cooper.
Cuppa.
Right.
I'm not gonna. If you tell me what to call you,
Yeah, if your dad calls you that, we call you that.
if your name is, if you are saying, hey, my name is fill in the blank Cuppa, I'm gonna call you Mr. Fill in the blank Cuppa. I'm not gonna call you Mr. Fill in the blank Cooper. That ain't happening. So that being
Louis
said,
Jarman's got a good one. Data or data?
data.
Because I don't think
Data.
there are not, in my opinion, data points. There are data points.
Right.
But you also can have data on a subject. I don't
No,
I don't
see
have
where
a
you're coming
definitive
from.
way
Right.
that I say that
Correct,
word.
yeah.
And I think most of these have to do with situation or context in which you're using it. But that's a good one that I definitely know I say it both ways.
The and the.
What about duh?
It ain't the Ohio State.
It's duh Bears. I don't know. Maybe there's three ways we say some things. And we just don't know it.
I think when you say the, it's extremely,
With the
it's extremely uppity. Like you say the tomato, you say the, that's uppity to me. I might be wrong.
I don't know. When I'm talking to my kids, I'm like, get in the truck now.
Right. And I get in the truck. It ain't that. Not like that.
I don't put the emphasis on the enough. Get in the truck. Get in the truck.
Yeah.
Do I need to help you? Get in the truck.
You just heard from two guys who have said that.
I think I say it twice a day. Get in the truck. Get in the truck. I'll help you. You're not going to like it when I help you.
I will say that is where Backyard Adventures and our basketball goal has worked against our family because my 7-year-old is getting 2 shots in before he gets in the truck every single time. It can be raining and 20. He's getting 2 shots in, and it's bouncing off the truck also. But get in the truck now. We don't need shots. We're late for practice every single time. Yep, that's there. That's another real one. We do have a lot of paper towel response, though. Nathan tweets in, we use Viva paper towels in my house as well, but I don't have the tearing issue.
You said the word. What if Viva wants to sponsor the show?
Cole will deny it.
I didn't say it. Greg said it. And I said Vive.
I actually said that I wasn't 100% sure the name, and I looked it up online, and I'm pretty sure that's what they are, but apparently Nathan has 10 times my skill in paper towel ripping. You can be a better paper towel ripper than me. That's fine.
Is
I
it
don't
paper
care.
towel like just on the counter or it is in like a spindle thing?
It's in a spindle thing.
Okay.
Well, yeah, if I picked it up and skillfully utilized a pull to two different directions, I feel like I could get that done.
Well, right, but I don't know if it was just like sitting there because sometimes,
no,
even if it's
fancy gimmick,
even if it's on a spindle, some of them have like the thing where it keeps the.
Yeah, no, we don't.
No, I don't have that. I just have the spindle, and it don't work.
We're not Highland Park.
No.
Highland Park has the thing that shoots it out for you.
Do you think Highland Park uses paper towels? They just throw cloth ones
somebody
away.
Walking up behind you.
They just throw Egyptian cotton towels in the trash.
They have a mill in the back that actually.
They have a guy like the Charlotte Airport that's just bothering you constantly.
Yeah.
Trying to clean up after you.
Correct.
Guy, can I just zip up my pants first? Calm down.
Nice.
Michael Kirby. This is a great one. You ready?
Yeah.
Nevada.
Ooh.
Nevada.
It's supposed to be
It's
Nevada.
usually Nevada for me, but
Right.
there's, I don't know when or how or why, a Nevada will come out every now and then.
You just
Usually
can't
around
control
NCAA
it?
tournament time.
You just can't control it?
Here comes Nevada marching back. Now the Jordan Hare with the pronunciation and Jordan, those are just different names, kind of like Greg said with Koopa.
Yeah, just different names. Like, and if they want to be called Shug Juden, I'm gonna call them Shug Juden.
We have Denny and Daney.
That's true. I don't know what Denny Hamlin. I know what Danny Hamlin.
Why not? How do you not? He races every week.
Deet.
What are you talking about?
Or you could say date or dirt.
Date.
DIYT.
I got to go in via text. Scenario. The Tribe Called Quest told me it was scenario.
But UGK tells you both of them. Oops, my bad. That's my scenario.
That is one that every now and then a scenario will come up.
Yep.
But it's more times than not a scenario that we need to discuss. Michael Kirby tweets in, have you ever tore off a paper towel along the perforated line and it doesn't tear off cleanly? Go back to pull off another so the line is clean. Then you get a half of the next one when you do that.
Yeah.
You know, can I be honest? I think the paper towel conundrum.
I'll bring it in. See if you can do it,
I
Greg.
think it's a you problem. Oh, I'm a meathead.
I didn't say it wasn't a meat
give
problem.
me that paper towel.
But I also said I
those in your room.
can walk over to those
Judge, get in the truck.
cheap, the truck, not the truck, the truck. I can walk over to those cheap ones right there that we have in studio. I can go to, watch. I'll prove it to you.
Oh, here we go. All right, here we go. Hey, Cole is working camera left.
I brought these in. These are the cheapest ones you can get.
Wait, those are the ones you brought in.
Watch this.
Yeah, those are perfect.
Perfect rectangle
Rosy.
right there. Did it. You have to watch YouTube to see that.
Now I feel like I need to hear a Rubik's Cubelic take now that you did that perfect rectangle. Sound like the printer spit it out.
Those guys are on break. They're trying to figure out a new algorithm.
Bet they are. They going to get doged? What?
I don't even know. Really, I think I know what that means, but I don't know what it means, and I don't care what it means. So, but you obviously want to show down the hall because you bring it up so often. So
I just the sheer quantity of.
I got a buddy in my Sunday school class just like you. Never means to bring up politics, but somehow brings up politics every week.
Every day.
Greg, no different.
It's a hot topic of
you
conversation.
You got gas tax on your list today? No, I don't.
Why do you go gas tax all the time?
I don't know. I don't know what else they talk about. What else do you talk about?
I don't know. Gas tax is not like something that is hotly debated. Doge is though.
Crime rate? I don't know. What else do you
I like to get the people going.
That's how far removed I am from it that I don't even know the topic.
He was afraid to go DEI earlier, mentioning White. He was afraid with that.
No, I read the tweet. You guys stay away from me on that. Don't put that on me. There's still some cold weather hanging around. Schedule your system checkup now from a Train Comfort Specialist. Train has been recognized 10 consecutive years as America's most trusted HVAC brand. And our exclusive home comfort partners here at Jocks. Visit Train.com to find a comfort specialist near you. We did it. We made it through the first hour. I didn't even get to all the college basketball coming up today. Massive day of hoop. And we'll discuss Alabama's loss to Florida just a little bit more on the other side next. Mac and Cube in the morning. or two underway with completely useless talk radio surrounding butter, margarine, words pronounced two different ways, and paper towels. That's what you got in the first hour. Now you're going to want to know where to go get the podcast, jocksfm.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the app. Search WJOX in your app store, download that. You'll even see a spot where you can click to watch live on YouTube, where I demonstrated my paper towel ripping skills earlier in the show. Where else do you get this? You guys are going to switch the channel. Go get that somewhere else. Come on. Unbelievable. All right. We have folks texting into the show. You can do that. 205-834-9450. Damian, other words that people pronounce two different ways?
Yeah, we're getting some actions on the question of route or route.
That's a good one. Now, that one I believe is more situational. Like I would never use route in football, but directionally, I think route would slip out every now and then.
Route
Or
66.
Right, roads.
Right.
Yeah.
We've got
What route are you running today?
What route you got right there?
That's never you. He ran the wrong route. That doesn't happen.
Well, maybe, depending on the coach.
But
Yeah.
you never drive down Route 66.
No.
No.
Is that basically because of Sonic? If the commercial wasn't that, then would we say it the other way?
I think it was probably the song. Get your kicks.
That too. Yeah. Okay. Continue, please.
We've
Greg,
got,
route or route?
Route and route for me.
But
Fastest route.
You never say roto
Route.
router.
No. Roto router. Roto router would be someone that comes to unclog your internet provider.
You talking about your dad or your data?
Yes.
Which one?
Dataman. I do think that it is route when referring to a specific route. It's route when you're just talking generally speaking. Yeah.
Okay.
Like football route. No one says, "Oh, he ran a post route," unless he's in Canada. You would say it like that up there.
Yeah, you can never call games in the CFL.
You actually might. You might be able to call it a wheel route.
We got pecan or pecan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Or,
It's pecan.
as my mother-in-law says, pecan. And she's from Sylacauga, so
Pecan
I feel like there's a lot of folk around here that have that in their arsenal.
Catch me peeking at the pecan pie.
What?
That's a tongue twister.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Feels like an early '90s rap song.
I could get on board with that.
Who was the guy that did a little bit smaller? Skilo.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
one of his songs.
Skilo
That's a one-hit wonder that you would never even know.
Skilo Ali.
But if you want to talk about one-hit wonders that got radio run, it's probably in the top 20
Wow.
in that demo. It wasn't a good song. I'm not pretending it was. He did wish he was a baller.
I wish I was a little bit.
If he had a girl that looked good, he was going to call her.
Yeah. All right. I know that song.
You're familiar with it?
Terrible. God, it's awful.
Rabbit in a Hat or 6'4" Impala. Didn't have any. Want it all. Damien, any others?
Yeah, we've got, of course, with Coach Wimp Sanderson coming in today at 9 a.m. We got Missouri or Missouri?
I feel like that's a question for somebody from them parts, which I don't. I've heard both. I don't believe I ever used Missouri, though. It's always Missouri for me.
I feel like Pat says that, but he also says Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Maybe he just hates LSU.
Maybe.
Or the Cajuns or the Warhawks.
It's Louisiana.
I know that, but
Do you feel like you have, are there a lot of folk from that state that say both? Or
I never
either?
heard it. I've only
It's
ever
always
heard
Louisiana?
Pat and Wimp say it. They're the only two I've ever heard it.
Oh, no, I've heard a lot of other people use it. A lot.
So
The question is, do they use both?
I don't think so.
Like, does Pat say Louisiana Lafayette and then Louisiana when he's just talking
it's
about
always
the state?
Louisiana Tech.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, and speaking of the word that you just said, either or either.
I use both, and I don't know when or how. There's no rhyme
Not
to the
important.
reason.
What about mature and mature?
Mature.
Mature sounds Highland Park.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't believe that.
Mature really honestly annoys me.
Really?
It seriously annoys me. Oh, he's so mature. No, stop. Stop it. The thing about mature is that's a highly intellectual person that is saying that from time to time.
Correct.
Like,
yeah.
it's an acknowledgement of your intellectual capabilities.
Brain breaded.
I'm
yeah.
smarter than you. Yes. Just say mature.
I feel
Tighten up.
like Jim Nance says mature.
100%.
He's got to.
And I love Jim Nantz. I love Jim Nantz.
Right when he tries to give his tie to the kid that wins player of the tournament. One day when you mature, son, this will come in handy.
Maturity. When you hit puberty, you're going to have more maturity.
Here come a couple good ones via Twitter. Tyler Blevins tweets in, tournament or tournament?
Gosh, don't.
It's a good one. It's a good one, though.
Tournament.
Every now and then a tournament will come out. And I think I reference golf when I say it.
Yeah.
I bet Jim Nantz says tournament when he talks about the Masters.
There are a lot of mature people at the Masters saying, yeah.
At the Masters tournament.
Yes.
Correct.
Here's a good one from...
There's a lot of mature people at the Masters and the Kentucky Derby and...
Tyler...
Not in the infield.
No.
Philip Carlson tweets in, caramel.
Oh, that one irritates me too.
Or Carmel, California. Caramel. I think I kind of go backwards on those two. Or back and forth. Caramel, always?
Yeah, caramel. Oh. Caramel, it just irritates me. It sounds like an animal.
Could be.
A caramel has humps on its back for when it's cold, when it's hot in the desert.
Philip also says Louisville, to which I will admit, Philip, I used to make that mistake, and Greg has corrected that.
Be careful.
Greg, he would absolutely drop the hammer every time I would say Louisville.
For your own good.
What are they going to do, hurt me?
Yes.
Bro, he's a Lexington guy, dog. He ain't got to worry about
First of all,
he ain't got to worry about them boys.
I love Cole.
That's on purpose.
I love Cole, but his mental state will go into the hole if someone starts ripping him on Twitter. And you want to get ripped on Twitter? Call him Louisville during their games and or describing one of their games.
It's Louisville.
I got eviscerated.
But if I ever got that game on the SEC Network, I would absolutely say Louisville.
This is a straight middle finger.
There you go. And then all of Lexington would love me instead of 98% of it.
I got eviscerated the first time. My first Louisville game was in 2016. It was LSU in, what was it, Citrus Bowl. And it would have been January 1st of 2017. And I called them Louisville in the open. I got eviscerated. I'm talking destroyed. Actually, no. First game was actually the third game of the year that year, and then I fixed it in the bowl game. So it was against North Carolina. And by the way, Lamar Jackson, one of the greatest games I think I've ever seen. It was in 2016, and it was absolutely absurd.
He would have had 4 more touchdowns if you'd have
pronounced I called him
his school correctly.
Louisville. Destroyed.
Now Cameron Jordan sends in Aniana. I don't know what the other. What's the
other way to say it?
The option there. That's all I've ever heard. I don't know if it goes another way. Royal Payne tweets in the different pronunciations of Kansas, and then he has in parentheses Kansas, in Arkansas or Arkansas stem from their origins in Native American languages and how they were adopted by French and English speakers, with the French pronunciation of Arkansas, Saul, becoming official in 1881.
What?
He's just taking us all to school here. Arkansas. What
I still think it's funny when people say Arkansas.
Yeah, I can't handle that. But
like,
you feel like that's the way it probably should be pronounced.
But
though.
you're just saying it to be a jerk. Like, you really are.
I'm from Arkansas.
An Arkansas guy is an Arkansan. That's where the issue comes in.
Skipper Little tweets in. Pat also says Tennessee weirdly. I think he is in the Tennessee crowd.
Yeah.
There is a large.
There's an I in there. Yeah.
There's a group of folk who say Tennessee.
Weird.
It's just the
same group that says mature.
No, I think it's the other side.
No.
BB texting says often or often.
Octon?
Often.
Often.
And
or
often.
Or often.
Like oftentimes or
oftentimes. Yeah, I don't feel like I vary on that one. I feel like it's pretty much one direction.
I'll tell you one that has irritated me from time to time because I hear it all the time. It's ask or axe. AKS or ASK.
I think it depends on the region that you're at. Well, location.
Look, it's geographical.
Yeah.
I feel like we should ask the guy who referenced Florida basketball.
Yeah, maybe, right? Yeah.
Demographical.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, Mark would have a say on that one.
Why you asking all them questions, dog?
It's like Jim Beam or Jim Bean. That's a little regional too.
Yeah.
Is it bad that I don't know the answer? I think it's
so
Jim
good,
Beam.
by the way.
Like
That is so good.
Hey, somebody asked, is it Talladega or Talladega?
I believe I would have to. She will probably listen to this via podcast, but my mother-in-law, being from Sylacauga, would tell you that it's Talladega. I believe she has clarified that before.
It's kind of like New Orleans and New Orleans. You know where you're from by how you say it.
New Orleans would be Jim Nance, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like people from.
I'm going to Bourbon Street, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
All right.
There's nobody from Nolans.
New Orleans.
That says, and it's technically one word, right? If you're from there,
Yeah,
Nolans.
with an apostrophe. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, just making sure.
What does the apostrophe replace? The W?
The space between the W
Yeah.
and
Nolans.
the O.
Somebody texted in Porsche or Porsche?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Jim Nance would tell you Porsche.
Porsche.
No, the fancy. I believe it is actually pronounced Porsche.
I think so. Yeah.
I think, and so the only way you would do that is if you could shop
that's the
for one
case.
at the dealership,
Jaguar or Jaguar?
not Jaguar. No.
Tell that to the announcer.
Mm-mm.
Jaguar.
I have heard it though.
That's what them
Jaguar.
Brits
It's
do.
not
man.
one that I. It's not one that I rotate between.
Jaguar.
I told you there were a bunch of them out there that'll get you. You got to be careful. So, paper towels and words, man.
I'm telling you, man. I'm amazed. Amazed at how many ways you can say words just based on whether or not you're trying to act better than anybody.
So you were just in Mobile for Mardi Gras. I have a text in that
Mardi
says
Gras.
water or worder.
Who says water?
Water
Like Ed Warder?
or water. Water or water. Apparently a Mobile thing. I don't know. I'm not from the MOB.
They just refer to it as the Bay.
We did not do debutante balls when I was growing up.
I find that shocking. You feel very debutante-ish.
It just feels like in the dresses with the hula hoops on the bottom, it feels like a Mobile thing.
Yeah. Or a Southern thing. Well, we decided actually, me and a small group of friends, Mobile might be the most Southern city that there is.
In
It is
Alabama,
so-
it's very close.
Right.
I'm not
Kinda,
talking
yeah.
specific
Yeah, well, it
geography.
counts
I'm
Florida,
talking
so,
like,
Maybe
yeah.
that might have them.
Yeah.
But
I'm talking just like as far as like just straight Southern, like things that are said, things that are eaten. Like it's just very Southern. It's a very Southern place. Like it's very, very much Southern. Whereas like in Birmingham, for example, like we have pockets of like feeling in some cases, like we're New York City in some areas.
New York City.
You know, like
If you want to talk about a brilliant marketing plan, every time I hear somebody reference it, I think that in
yeah.
my brain.
Yeah.
My brain always, every single time, unless we're talking about like the Yankees or the Knicks.
what are you referring to?
Do you remember?
Pace pecan sauce commercial.
Yep, there it is.
Oh,
What it was for.
Every single time. It's the only thing I think of. A couple of tweets that are coming in response to this. Tear and tear. But that's two different words.
I think they're going the
correct?
other way.
Tear
Tear
and
and
tier.
tier. Yeah, I think they're going the other way. Yeah.
So you could say, wouldn't you say tier and tier? T-E-I-R and T-E-A-R?
Yeah.
Right.
Now this is a good one. Gator Jen tweets in. And again, depending on what zip code you live in, probably. Aunt or aunt? That is fantastic work, Gator Jen.
There's Auntie, too. Don't
That's why we
forget
say
that.
that
auntie.
is. It's another one.
Hey, Auntie.
As I have gotten older, I feel like I should say aunt,
Right.
but I do not. I guarantee you Jim Nance does.
aunt. Mine's aunt.
Right.
I'm sure you're shocked.
I see my aunt often at the tournament.
Tournament.
Ever since I had matured.
You guys are crazy.
How about creek and crick?
Creek?
Is that two? I feel like that's almost two
Did you say
different
crick?
like
Crick.
words. Yeah,
don't
that's a real
mean-
No,
thing.
no, it's
I
yeah.
mean,
a real
until
thing.
I got to Birmingham,
It's a bit
it was
red.
always the
Yeah.
creek. Mobile
That is
Creek.
red.
It's mobile like, yeah.
That is very red. The other thing I would say is in like the north/northwest, they say woof instead of wolf.
Oh,
Woof
woof.
Yeah, yeah.
as opposed to wolf.
That might just be a phonics like regional phonic difference.
Like they don't acknowledge L's.
No,
Like
but
what?
I know what you're talking about.
Washington acknowledges some L, all right. Come on now.
No, I've heard.
So when you're talking smack to the person you're playing, hold this. You can't even say the letter because you don't acknowledge L's.
We also have coming in.
Oh, McPherson wouldn't like living there.
Process.
Huh?
There are people who say process.
Yeah,
I don't hear that very often.
Not a ton.
It's
but
not.
it's out there.
Yeah.
This is a good one, and I feel like this is very situationally relevant. And John Chavis sending this one in. Defense.
Defense.
There you go.
Defense.
Yeah.
I think it's very situational.
Right. Yeah.
Like you never have a defenseman in hockey.
No.
You have a defenseman, but you also play defense.
Right.
But you also say defensive when referencing a defense. That was all over the place, I feel like. But that's a good one.
Did people really say defense or defense?
A lot of people say defense.
In Washington, ain't the Department of Defense.
It's true.
Here it is.
Department.
Oh, yeah.
That is true.
Ivy will point someone to the Department of Defense.
By the way, in Brian Daney it is.
Oh, vase or vase?
Well, we just did this for Bromberg's for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Here we go.
When you're talking about Bromberg's, I feel like you have to say vase.
Everyone else says
Jim
vase.
Nance has lots of vases in his house. He doesn't have a single face. Many vases. No face. Oh, John, Tweet Sports has a good one. I'll give it to you when we come back next on McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Welcome back into the dumbest show of 2025. Right here, Thursday, March the 6th, 8:20 a.m., Jocks 94.5, 800-239-9569, 800-239-WJOX. A couple good ones that are coming in. A couple really good ones that have come in. Uncle Mike tweets in, what do you mail a letter in?
An envelope.
Oh,
it's an envelope. Not that envelope.
I bet Jim Nance says envelope.
Envelope.
Or envelope.
My mama says envelope.
It's honestly both, and it's one that I think that I've used both.
That's a good one. I think it's envelope for me, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's the wrong answer there.
Oh, Bill Rowland says where you just were over the weekend, Greg. That one can go in
Mobile?
Specifically with NFL personnel covering the Senior Bowl.
And mobile.
Mobile. The possibilities grow every time the Senior Bowl comes around. You do an interview with somebody in Chicago asking about that game, you never know what you're going to get. But here's a good one. What do you have to change in your car every 3,000 to 5,000 miles?
Oil.
No, oil. Yep.
You should drive me crazy in school. I'm like, it's not ULL.
Oil.
There's an I in it.
Oil.
Vegetable oil. The car is old.
No, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes.
There's no way that's a real thing.
I changed the oil.
That cannot be a real thing.
I changed the oil. But
You really
oil.
don't think that.
I promise you.
That says a lot.
It's the Maplesville in me.
What
man.
are we doing?
Yes. Yes. 1,000%. Yes.
Speaking of maple,
are we
syrup
doing?
or syrup?
Syrup.
Yeah, I think I use both. Like Damien had a good one texted in during the break, pajamas. But my kids say pajamas, so when we're trying to put them on, when I'm attempting to wrangle my 4-year-old to get them on, it's pajamas. But I say pajamas.
Right.
Yeah.
Get in your pajamas now, son. It's not get in your pajamas now, son, because that's what I would say when I was referencing it. But his reference would be pajamas. It's like, if you could just get these pajamas on, we'll do it.
A Kid and Play had a pajama jam. Didn't have a pajama jam. That just wouldn't work.
Nance would. What is the sidewalk made out of?
Cement. It's a good one. That's a good one.
It's
an excellent one.
Cement blocks.
Cement floors. It's a good one.
I do think I use both.
Yeah.
Like when I'm really thinking about it, I do think that there have been times when I've gone cement. Not often, but I do think I've done that before.
This is why this is a great practice, because I think it's situational.
Yeah, like cement shoes.
Like
works.
You don't fall on the cement, because I think you want to not exaggerate, but you want to like enunciate how bad that would hurt. You like, I fell on the cement. You know, say, God, I fell on that cement and it hurt really bad.
Right.
It's situational, I think.
Takes
sometimes.
a bite out of it.
Heather Huntsberger tweets in, originally from Indiana, in our group, hearing people say wash instead of wash. I've heard that a lot.
Yeah.
Worse.
Family from Pittsburgh. We
definitely heard that.
Yeah.
My grandmother and a lot of old heads call it the turlet.
The
Not
what?
a toilet. Turlet.
Turlet? Come again?
Multiple E's in it.
That had to just start and was just wrong from the get-go somewhere a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I like that one.
Turlet.
I might be teaching the kids. May doesn't speak yet. Hey, May, that's not a toilet. That's a turlet.
And you know what goes in there.
Yep.
My grandfather said roof.
That's a good one.
You don't hear that a lot, though.
A lot of people say roof.
Older.
That does happen. That's a little older. Yeah, roof is definitely the right
I
way.
don't feel like you do either one or the other there, though. You don't kind of vary back and forth. But definitely one that I've heard both. He also said rubbish, so you don't hear that much. Not that that's a back and forth, but
rubbish needs to come back.
Rubbish.
It's so good.
I try to make myself use it just to like in.
That's what Jim Nance would say when he said something's not awful. Everyone was like, "Oh, that's trash. Oh, that's rubbish."
How do you feel? What
really
about
have that rubbish? My grandfather wasn't a super fancy guy either, but it was rubbish.
How about supper or supper?
I actually think it's more supper or dinner, but yeah.
Spelled the same.
This is a good one, but I don't think we use it much. Sam tweets in, Worcestershire or Worcestershire? And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know, so it's just random. That does go back and forth, but totally random for me.
It's definitely spelled Shire, but I think it's Worcestershire.
We go Dale's here, but we haven't busted that out in a while.
Yeah, I'm not big on the Worcestershire.
Tyler says that people say line mower instead of lawn mower.
What?
I've never heard that.
What?
Never heard it. I've never heard that.
No.
Oregon or Oregon? Kevin tweets that one in. Oregon. You played the Oregon Trail back in the day? I've heard Oregon.
Oregon, for sure.
Oh, boy. Here we go. 58 people tweeting in that they enjoy this and words that they use. And here comes Steven Stills. Let's move on to sports, guys. Enough with word games.
What do you want to talk about?
Probably Daytona 500 like the last guy.
At the last time? Is he the one that tweeted in last time?
I know, but this is a good one from Steve, too. Interesting or interesting?
Interesting.
No.
But if it's going, if there's something that's very peculiar.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Draw that out.
When you rub the beard on it, it's interesting.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt. No doubt.
That's wild.
Michael Kirby. Italian or Italian?
It depends on whether or not you're referring to Rocky.
Yeah. Rocky's the Italian stallion.
Italian stallion.
But I have Italian dressing
Everyone
on
else
my
is
salad.
Italian.
Yeah.
I've never heard anybody use Italian dressing.
Never.
The only time I've ever really heard it referred to as the Italian stallion is by Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard anybody else say it.
It's got to be out there, though.
Maybe.
It's the tour of Italy, not the tour of Italy.
Now, as opposed to the pronunciation guide, we're going to get into, at some point, is it is it spread? Like, it's words that we would use. Like, do you use spread or do you use, butter or whatever it may be? Like, whatever the example would be there.
I got one guy tweeting in that wouldn't want us to have that debate.
I don't think we do it today. I think we do it tomorrow.
If Jolly's tweeting in Birmingham or Birmingham, I think that's either England or Alabama.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah.
And here comes a good one too. I want to ask you guys what this is, but I don't know the reference to use it. A fruit that starts with the letter A, not apple.
Apricot.
Apricot.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely both.
Yeah.
And I don't know
what the right one is.
Right. So I don't have I don't have a definitive one or the other, but I think I've used both.
In all seriousness, how many times have you said apricot?
Yeah.
Or apricot in the last year? Who eats those anymore?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had one.
If you they're not on today, but Cole, if you were going to use Gussie Goulas to sell your house, are they realtors or realtors?
It's a good one. It's
realtor.
I feel realtor for me.
Realtor.
But I feel like the actual beings refer to themselves as realtors.
Yes, 3 syllables.
Yes.
Yes.
But none of us that utilize their skill set reference them as that. They're just realtors. Maybe we're disrespecting them the whole time.
Should be.
They should be. Jim Nance most likely says realtor.
I love that Jim Nance is the go-to here.
My realtor. If you have a better example, who, Mr. Rogers? I don't know what.
He's just the perfect example of like just gentleman and Southern and all those things.
This is a good one from Mitch Prater. What is the most popular desert in the world?
The Sahara.
That'd be the Sahara Desert.
Is it popular?
Right. Like,
tell me what
I'm
makes.
Not dating. We're not debating popular.
Tell
deserts,
me what makes
a.
Tell me what makes a desert popular.
You've heard of it?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't honestly, I don't want to rank deserts on the show. Desserts, we definitely could. Guy tweeting in earlier would hate both, but yes, I don't. I knew that was probably. How many other deserts would you throw out there? Honestly, how many other deserts do you know? You probably know
Valley.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Death Valley.
There's the Wakahana. There's the Makashuka. There's this. Yeah, nobody knows any other deserts. Name one.
Who cares?
Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
We got crayon or crayon?
Crayon.
I don't know.
Some people say crown.
Ugh.
Crown.
My 4-year-old.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just how he's going to say it, because I've told you there are words that he says incorrectly that I'm not going to repair. Like he thinks that when the football goes way to the left, it's out of balance. And we're not changing that.
What if it goes way to the right?
My 7-year-old asked me, by the way, on the way home from baseball practice last night, I handed him my phone and put the Alabama game on. I said, keep me up to date with what's going on. He said, is this alive? And I said, it sure is. It's breathing and everything right now. It's a living, breathing thing right this second. And I'm not going to change that.
Oh.
So, but I don't know if that's just like a phonetic thing that you do when
I've
you're
heard
younger,
it in
maybe?
older people
Okay.
too. Yeah.
But no, he
Yes.
absolutely says crown. So when I get him one, I get him a crown.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'll tell him that because I that's one of those words or sayings that I want to stay how it is when he's young, but I don't know if it will. Michael Kirby also going with Cairo. I didn't know there was a different Cairo. I haven't. That one's not one that's
Qatar and
real for
Qatar.
me. It's a good
I
one.
think it's Qatar.
Yeah, but
I think that's
tell that to
a
everyone
lot of
else.
folks that just
Yeah,
don't.
right.
Yeah.
Just honestly, just don't know. Like either way, I have no idea.
I have no idea.
And that World Cup was really confusing.
Don't know.
I
Don't
was like, is
care.
that a type of shot? Like it's
Yeah.
a pitch?
Mm-hmm.
Like Mariano Rivera had a cutter. Like maybe Cristiano Ronaldo just has a mean cutter. Or are they playing in cutter? I don't know the difference. Nobody knew.
We've got poem. How else are you supposed
I think maybe
Poem?
it's poem or
Yeah.
poem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Nance would say poem,
2 syllable versus 1.
but a lot of
Yeah.
people would say, write me a poem.
Correct.
Like palm.
Palm.
Jim Nance says, put it right in the palm of my hand. Poor Jim. He didn't do anything.
Right.
No.
The man just catching strays today.
Is he though? I don't even know
Oh,
if
no,
he is. Like, I
It's
don't
fair.
think he is.
I think we all agree
Like,
with it.
I think he wants to be that guy.
Yes.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with
I
being
think
that
we're accidentally referencing Jim as the standard.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And we're just, there are other ways that we go
You
with
don't
it.
carry picture of burnt toast around in your jacket pocket and not say
Yell
things
out,
this way.
Val just walked by. Ask her if they're talking about gas tax today.
Val.
Guarantee it. It's happening.
Gas tag.
Nobody talks about gas tax.
Royal Payne also comes up with, this could be a follow-up to this that would be fantastic. Words that have been combined into one. And he goes with yanked. It's a good one. It's kind of like Nolan's that John was
Yanked,
referencing. Yanked. You ain't going to Nolan's? No?
They in fact have not. But yesterday, yes.
Yes. There you see? That gas tax will get you.
She was actually coming around and said there's a bluebell in the kitchen.
Oh, see?
But is there-
We
but is
talking
there-
about ice cream
But
yesterday?
is there blue bonnet?
In our kitchen, knowing us, yes.
In the fridge or out of the fridge? God, we've run the gamut today.
We've gone
A
all over
whole
the
new
place.
world. Whole new world.
You can do anything in the off seasons. Dialed. I do feel like we've made a lot of progress today.
Either. Did we cover that one?
Close enough. Yeah. Either.
Both?
Either one.
Either one.
I think we'll do either one.
Either one.
I'd
Either, but it
definitely
doesn't
say
matter.
both. It's situational again.
I think we've done a lot of progress today. We've established Jim Nance as the official number one gentleman. Number one, I don't want to say highfalutin because that has a
No,
negative
just-
connotation.
I think gentleman is perfect. Just leave it
gentleman.
at that.
Yes.
Just leave it right there.
Like perfect. He's perfect. He is the standard. And we are all just the woat because we don't adhere to his standard.
What do you put your socks in?
Drawer.
Yeah,
Don't-
but
But your grandfather puts on his what?
Draws.
Yeah, I think that's, yeah. Yeah. Depends where you are.
What color is this legal pad?
Yeller.
Yellow.
that's yellow, but old Yeller got shot.
That could have actually been the name though.
Yeah.
We don't really know the.
First of all, spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's well.
He just went out back.
Yeah, if you hadn't heard that one,
Just went
by
out.
He
now.
went to the farm.
Okay. All right, that was fun. We will move on because one person's mad about it and not do it anymore. We'll cover other things next on Mac and Cube in the morning. 8:38 Thursday, March 6th. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Alan tweeting in, surely Nevada has been covered. Yes, we mentioned Nevada earlier in the show. But also, we knew we weren't going to be able to get away from this easy. The fish that bears often hunt for in Alaska?
Salmon.
It's salmon. My dad calls it salmon.
Yes.
With the L. Those y'all in there.
That's tough.
I'm like, how did
It probably
this
should be
happen?
salmon.
No.
I immediately almost have sorrow for people that pronounce the L. Oh, you poor soul. I just can't.
Tough listen.
It's difficult when that's the way that it goes. Michael Kirby tweets in, the tangent segments are always great radio. Sadly, there's that one person that goes and ruins it for everyone else.
Ruin.
It's probably the same kid that reminds the teacher they didn't assign homework. Yes, it is. That is the silver medal tweet of the day after the spaghetti leftovers in a country crock container. Michael, because we all had that guy, right? Are you going to give us the homework?
I like homework.
What do you mean there's no reading assignment?
Honestly, it was me sometimes.
Stop it.
It was.
Why would you do that?
Never.
Because I'd rather get some of it done now, knowing that if they forgot,
No.
we have to double up.
No. If the teacher forgets, it's on them.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were told multiple times, if it doesn't happen, we still have to do the homework.
You're also
just
assuring
spreading it
yourself
out.
you get homework every night.
Yeah,
At least you would
teacher's
get
gonna
one
get-
night off.
The teacher's going to get hers.
Okay, cool.
Or his.
No.
Wouldn't you rather have one night of no homework
Yes.
and a little bit more the next night?
Nah.
Yes.
That's what I thought. And then when we got doubled up, it was like, oh, I don't want all this.
I like predictability. I like to know what I'm getting.
I didn't say
Like
I
how
did it
you
every
pronounce
time.
words?
No.
I
I
didn't
need
do
to
it.
know, hey, I have accounted for an hour worth of homework tonight. I need to know that hour is spoken for. No. Who asked for homework?
What would you do if you had accounted for that time and there was none assigned? Would you just make it up on your own?
Perhaps.
Stop.
Get some problems on the
Get
side.
ahead.
Get some problems on the side.
Like, I wasn't that bad.
No.
There was also said human when tomorrow we're going to work on chapter 13. Already read it.
Yeah, that definitely wasn't me.
No, there
I'm
were.
getting ahead.
So when we get to chapter 12, oh, you mean when this and this?
So you like to do the bare minimum.
I like to do what's asked
Exactly.
or acts.
We know your music. You're act
You
sometimes.
accent.
Yeah.
You accent.
We remember
Yeah.
that Michigan State player. We had, with a K in his name.
Greg, tell us about Shannara Flooring.
Shannara Flooring is great. Fu and his company have done an amazing job of creating a level of trust and integrity that you know you're going to get when you go with Fu. He does an amazing job. They have great contractors that are going to be installing your floors, taking care of your home, and making sure they are respectful of what your needs need to be. Go and check them out by going to fuindyou.com. Know that they have 40,000 square feet of Core-Tech flooring in stock. 40,000. That's absolutely incredible to know that they have that much square feet of Core-Tech flooring. This is the waterproof, durable, dependable, kid-proof, pet-proof, you name it, they got it. They're great in kitchens. They're great in bathrooms. They're great all over the house if you have young kids, because you know young kids are going to tear that stuff up. So you want to go with something that's super reliable. And having 40,000 square feet of Core-Tech in stock today, the only group that has that here in the southeastern part of the United States. So go and check them out right now. I'm telling you, you're going to be very, very happy with them. 12 months financing with approved credits by calling FU at 205-518-6423, or you can go online to check out what Shannara Flooring can do for you by going to fuindyou.com.
All right, we'll move on from the word pronunciations and move on to football. Actual football that's coming here in about a week or so. Not a week, I guess. What is it? 2 weeks away? 3 weeks away from the UFL. Alex McGough, Birmingham Stallions quarterback, be with us on the other side. Before we get to him, going to give you some added value here on Jocks. I'd like to introduce you to our friend and wealth advisor, Tad Hill, your trusted retirement planning partner. Tad is the co-host of the Retire with Freedom radio and TV shows in Birmingham, Huntsville, and has also been designated by Forbes as the #1 financial securities professional in the state of Alabama, multiple years running. Tad, what do you have for us today?
how do we reduce our tax burden as much as we possibly can? And one of the things that many of you probably don't know is that taxes are actually on sale right now. When the current laws sunset, taxes are going to go up. So if you've got a lot of tax deferred money, 401ks, 403bs, IRAs, when that money comes out, it's going to get taxed at your highest marginal tax rate. If you've never had anyone analyze if you can get that money into tax-free accounts like Roth IRAs, we cover how to do that in detail in our retirement course that we teach at our office on Valley Dale Road. If you'd like to sign up for the next course, text JOX, J-O-X, to 205-988-0006, 988-0006.
This is a paid placement. Investment advisory services are made available through AE Wealth Management. For more information about Forbes rankings, visit Forbes.com.
All right, let's talk some actual football. Alex McGough, Birmingham Stallions quarterback, former MVP of the UFL, joining us now on the Buyers Right Hotline. Camp underway. Anything feel different for you this time around, Alex? You know the system. Obviously, you know your head coach and play caller, Skip Holtz, but is it easier? Is it different? Is there a different approach to it for you?
I wouldn't say it's a different approach. I know the system. I mean, I retained it all. I think that me and Skip have a very good level of comfortability with each other. I kind of know what he likes. He knows what I like. So it's been good getting back, with him and talking ball with him. Just the only thing that's different is I've been playing receiver for the last year and a half. So just kind of getting back to, getting under center and reading defenses and, the things of that nature.
When Matt LaFleur and you were with the Packers the last couple of years, when he came to you and said, "Hey, let's transition you to wide receiver," that's going to be your best path to make the team at the NFL level, but you can clearly make good money in the UFL playing quarterback. How did you balance that? What did your agent, I guess, tell you to do in that situation?
Yeah, well, I just was listening to what I wanted to do and what my gut was telling me, and you can make there's good money in the UFL, but NFL money is just completely different. So if there was any chance that I could make that type of money, I was going to do it. And I mean, I was playing receiver and all special teams like my whole first year there, and I thought I had a really good chance, and I was doing well. It just it didn't pan out the way it was supposed to. I hurt my hamstring a couple times, so just things didn't go my way. But it was a fun experience. I learned a lot. I think it's helped me as a quarterback, even kind of knowing leverages and what's and how to beat them, and talking to receivers and kind of letting they know that I've actually done it before. at the highest level. So I think that it's been good. It's helped me, and I'm just going to try to use all the information I can to better my play at quarterback.
Alex McGough joining us on the Buyers Right Hotline. He'll be one of 3 quarterbacks in camp on the Birmingham Stallions roster, along with Matt Corral. Case Cook assigned yesterday. Should we plan on maybe seeing you do both this season? Is that something you've talked about, discussed, or is it just going to be quarterback for now?
Well, I'm not gonna. I'm just gonna say no comment to that.
Okay.
And then I don't want to give anything to anybody.
It's understandable completely. When you do look at how maybe Skip approaches things in a different way, we know how successful he's been. We know what he's been able to do at this level. Anything different about maybe how he's handling camp this time around as far as how he did in the past?
No, I mean, everything's been the same. I think he likes to, put everything in and kind of just make everybody swim for the first couple of days. But after that, it's all in. So you're hearing it 3 or 4 times, before we even get to practice. So I think the guys have done a really good job of absorbing all the information and going out there and executing well. And it's just been, he's very consistent with what he does. He's a teacher. He always says he's a teacher and then a coach. So his approach has been constant and it's been effective.
What have you noticed, I guess, from the league standpoint, knowing that there's no longer a competing entity? You played, of course, in the USFL, but now with the merger and with the new looking league, have you noticed just an increase in talent across the board? How different does the league look now compared to when you were in it a couple years back?
Yeah, I can't really speak on last year's league only because I honestly didn't watch a lot of it. But from what I can see, we got a lot of good guys in here. Some of the guys from the same USFL team that we had. But yeah, I mean, there's talent. There's so much talent out there in the world that, you can put together these leagues and just get together and especially now that there's one league, like you said, everybody's kind of coming here because they see that the potential that it has to get people back into the league and grow their careers. So yeah, there's definitely a talent upgrade, and just looking forward to seeing what we can do with it.
Okay, so Alex, we appreciate the time today. Appreciate you hopping on with us. Wish you the best this year. We're going to be watching, obviously, covering the Stallions here in Birmingham, and then I'll be working some of the games. So I'll see you probably week 1. We appreciate some time today.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you.
There you go, Alex McGough of the Birmingham Stallions. We mentioned no Adrian Martinez on this roster as of right now. But Matt Corral, of course, had a lot of success in that system last year as well and has had success under Coach Holtz. And then you get Case Cook as G-Mac, who has experience in this league as well, who'll be vying for a roster spot.
Yeah, it's always interesting, too, just how things turn over so significantly. It's hard to develop a rapport, and guys are bouncing like Alex to the NFL, back to the USFL, to the UFL, to the XFL, and now it's all kind of under one umbrella, and you can only bounce between the two. So it's always tough to kind of figure out what teams are going to be. But Birmingham does have a pretty well-established culture, a culture of excellence, a culture of playing at a crazy high level. So it'll be fascinating, I think, to see how it all works out this kind of spring camp, if you will, and they'll obviously be getting going here pretty soon.
And you'll get a lot of the same names. Cole Snyder is going to be back at center. C.J. Marable's going to be there. Ricky Person's going to be in the backfield with Larry Roundtree. So a lot of the names that we have come to see on this roster for a while, with an Austin Watkins out of UAB maybe added to give you a little more down the field threat. So it's going to be interesting because you got that experience at the quarterback position, which is key in this league, especially with the communication that's able to take place and what guys are able to do. Probably should have asked Alex about that, Greg, just that difference of being cut off with a couple seconds left or being able to go up to the play and maybe after the play. How much of a difference since he's done both? And we're seeing more guys do what he did. I feel like there was a big run of former tight ends who were former quarterbacks who made that move. And then now we're seeing, a lot of the quarterbacks try to play wide receiver. Now we got a couple guys like say in the triple option and things like that did it, but legitimate quarterbacks who have tried to make that move, and some have done it successfully.
For sure. And it's happened. I think you have great understanding of coverage and space and know how to uncover. I mean, look at Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, Kelce played quarterback at one point in his career and had a really good fundamental understanding of defense, which allowed him to be a better receiver and identify coverage and to find space and to create separation, all that stuff. So I think that's really helpful and really valuable.
You got two of them from Ole Miss, the kid in Buffalo that was a quarterback that moved to tight end. And then Priestcorn, who just did it. I mean, Priestcorn went to Memphis as a walk-on quarterback.
Was Dawson Knox?
Dawson Knox was a quarterback coming up, yeah. So you've seen the tight ends that were former QBs have kind of made that move and had some success. Terrell Pryor went from Ohio State, actually played wide receiver.
Yeah.
Eli Stowers, he was a legit 5-star quarterback coming out. Went to Texas A&M and now has moved on. And I mean, would
Logan
you say
Thomas?
Would you say best tight end returning in college football next year?
There.
I mean, yeah, maybe he's definitely debatable. A guy that's had a heck of a career. So, and Adrian Martinez still trying to make the NFL. So we'll see if that plays out. And if it doesn't, then what happens to maybe a different roster spot or him somewhere else? I don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but a guy that definitely can get it done in that league. I think we all know that because he has shown over and over that he can do it. We have mentioned Country Crock often today.
Yes.
But also fair, Greg, that we mentioned Crocker Moving Services for our listeners.
Well, Crocker Moving Services are a local company owned by an Iraq War veteran, Eric Crocker. Crocker believes in hiring movers you can trust to complete full background checks and run drug tests on every single employee. These are good guys. And you can trust them in your home. Whether it's your whole home packed up move, your company headquarters across the country, or you just want them to come rearrange your living room, they got you covered. They also do deliveries for furniture that you purchased and need to get to your home. So call or visit them online today for a free quote. The website is crockermovingservices.com. That's crockermovingservices.com. Support your veterans by choosing Crocker Moving Services for your next move.
Michael Kirby tweets in, going back to words, because we're going to finish this up before we get to Coach Sanderson, where your dad attended college.
Yeah. Hawaii.
I feel like there's a lot of those.
You can say Hawaii or Hawaii.
Hawaii. Or the gentle pauses. Hawaii.
Hawaii.
Some people bring that. What is correct?
Hawaii.
Okay. When you go to I think it was like a Mediterranean restaurant and you order the wrap.
Yeah.
What would you reference that as?
A gyro?
It's a gyro.
I think Damien said something totally different in the break when I asked him that. Multiple different ways to get that going. When we come back, we will ask Wimp Sanderson, the coach, if he has concerns about Alabama and or Auburn moving into the postseason based on what has gone down this week. How different were things for him come tournament time? They always say guard play wins in the tournament, right? Does Coach Sanderson believe that that is real? That's what everybody says. So we'll discuss that with him on the other side with one more hour to go right here on Jocks 94.5, Thursday, March the 6th. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Listen online, jocksfm.com. The app is in your app store. iPhone, Android, you can download that for free. Watch live on YouTube and stick around to hear Wimp next on Jocks 94.5. Hour number 3, McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Thursday, March 6th, right here on Jocks 94.5. You can watch live on YouTube, search Jocks 945 each and every morning. He joins us every Thursday morning, thanks to our friends at Coke and Piggly Wiggly. It's the coach, Wimp Sanderson. Coach, how are we doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing okay. It's big-time basketball season. I'm looking forward to the tournaments. I've played in my team's played in a lot of tournaments, that's for sure, down through the years. And my old college team is playing tonight at 6 o'clock in their tournament, North Alabama. So
they got a good team up there, Coach.
Yeah, the guy's doing a really nice job. He was the assistant coach at Alabama at one time, and he's done a nice job up there. He's gotten the right pieces. It's hard to recruit. You got to get the right guys when you got to get guys that care about coming as well as having some skill. I think that's the one thing that Auburn has done such a good job on. They didn't get the very best player out there probably, but they got the guy that fit. And I think transferring is a fitting situation along with ability, but fitting is also big. If you don't believe that, then you can ask Arkansas about 2 years ago when they went south and coach ended up leaving. But so it should be interesting. Alabama had a tough game last night. When you score 94 points, you're supposed to win. They weren't as good defensively, and Florida's very, very good. They got a lot of cheap baskets off the break. Got a lot of patches at the basket around the rim, they got a lot of loose balls and played a little bit better than Alabama, a lot better than Alabama did probably. When you studied how rebounded Alabama 50-35 or something like that. So now Saturday's a big game. Alabama's at Auburn. Auburn is going to be the number 1 seed. Florida is going to be the number 2 seed. Now, where Alabama and Tennessee fit in those places, not sure. It's according to wins and losses on Saturday as to where they're going to fit. So you may have Alabama playing Auburn. You may have Alabama playing Florida again.
It could go either direction, Coach, or either direction. As you mentioned, UNA, they get Jacksonville tonight at 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus in the ASUN semifinals or semifinals, one or the other. Anything that happened with Auburn or Alabama that changes your opinion on what they are capable of doing or being in the postseason, based on what you saw with Alabama against Florida or Auburn against Texas A&M?
I don't think personnel-wise it did. I think the biggest problem that you have right now, and the one that I really watch very closely, is rest. I think Alabama is going to be tired going into Auburn on Saturday, and I think Auburn is going to be a little bit tired. I've been playing today. I think rest is very, very key. I probably said this on the show before, but I'll say it again. I would take my practices in February, last week in February and March, 45 minutes. But, man, we could go 45 minutes hard, and the kids loved it. And then they played hard, and they practiced hard. There are some coaches who want to go 3 hours because you're playing in a tournament. Your legs are so important because your legs so much affect your shooting, affect your ability to get the running, your ability defensively as well as you shooting the basketball. And so I think that's the key. I don't think, to answer your question, that basketball is a long season. You're going to lose some. You're going to be a bit disappointed in the way you played on both ends of the court or one end of the court that night, and you try to correct that. So that's going to be important. How many teams get in the NCAA tournament out of a tournament in Nashville? I don't know. I've said this before, and when I was coaching, you were considered, and I don't think either one of you will agree to this, you were considered the champion of the SEC if you won the tournament. And you got the ring if you won the tournament. So it was a little bit different there. Some people say, well, it should be the 18-game round robin schedule rather than the tournament. So you can say whatever you wish.
Which one's harder to do?
Yeah, I would think the regular season would be the one that the coaches would want.
Well,
or would you rather win 4 games as opposed to winning 18? I kind of understand both sides.
Yeah, it's both sides to go that way, and we were very, very fortunate to win the tournament 5 times, and or 6 times, I guess it was, and so I don't know which one's the best. So you just have to look at it and try to decide that you're rested, and you're ready to go, and your best players are clicking for you, and that's big. So that's changed a lot somewhat. Everybody always used to talk about, the tournament didn't mean as much, but it meant a lot to our kids when they got that ring. So things change. We like to compare the era when I coached this era now, and this is better or that's worse, and these kinds of things. But recruiting has changed. The money deal has changed a great deal, and the numbers have changed. When I went to Alabama, freshmen were not eligible to play, and we had freshman teams. In fact, Mammoth was on my freshman team, and so was Snake Stabler. So Snake wasn't on our team, but I had him in a class one time. So things change, but as radio people do, as y'all do a great job. You just look at different things that happen throughout the year, changing based on what you used to do.
Coach, how would you explain to someone who has heard multiple coaches say guard play wins tournament games? Why is that?
Well, I think here's what guard play does for you. Guard play is 3 things. For me, it was to defend the other guard. It was to get the ball to the open people offensively, and it was to shoot the good shot when you had it. Those 3 things. I wanted my guards to be able to defend, to get the basketball to the open people, and to shoot it when they had the shot. And if you've got guards that can do that, then you've got darn good guards. I had some that all my point guards were darn good players, and we couldn't have gotten where we got. So I think that's the big key for guard play. So that's the reason they say that. Basically, let me tell you something. The dribble. Now listen to me. The dribble is an offensive weapon. You don't grab the basketball and put it on the floor and pick it up. If you do, you've killed yourself. That means that the pressure is going to get on you. So you 2 guys take your kids. That the dribble is an offense. Here's the best rule: let the dribble take you somewhere. Let the dribble take you somewhere. The second thing that you need to learn, and you got young kids, I'm just talking now. Y'all's kids are just having fun. That the backboard is your friend. The backboard you try to and basketball is a game of angles, that I've said before. If you try to shoot a baseline shot with no backboard, shoot anywhere near the percentage if you step out 5 feet and bank it in. So the backboard is your friend offensively, and people don't realize that. People want to. If Robert Ory dunked a ball for me and missed it because he tried to be cute, his little fanny was 88 and out the gate. He was on the bench with me. So I've said all this stuff before.
How many dunks did Robert Ory miss?
He didn't miss many, but I just used this as an example because I was afraid nobody knew I coached. But around the goal, you will see kids go in. They steal a basketball, they go to the other end, they try to dunk it and they miss it. Oh, you got pet peeves and stuff, and that's mine. I don't mind you dunking the ball, but if you're gonna fancy it up and miss it, it ain't gonna work for me. But I'll tell them, you fancy it up and miss it. It's a long way from that floor all the way down, all the way to the very top of Coburn Coliseum. And when you do it 3 times, it's a real long way. So that's just me.
Coach, what do you think right now as we kind of move forward and start to look ahead? What do you think Nate Oates should be focusing on here, not just in this game on Saturday, but kind of flip the script? This team's lost 4 out of the last 6 and really hasn't played great. There have been issues that have popped up, different issues that have popped up in different games, different moments, and I'm not sure I know the answer. So how do you think you can get things fixed there?
Well, I think defensively you've got to get over the screens. You've got to make it. And let me tell you something. When you're fixed to be screened and you sort of stand up, I call that making yourself small. And by making yourself small, you're able to get over that screen. So you've got to work defensively. You've got to be darn sure that you're conditioned, but not over conditioned to the point that you're tired. I think Alabama it's a little bit scary for Alabama right now because I think they're a little bit tired. And I'm not coaching his team, so don't be having guys call in and say I said this. But I think that you need them as rest as you possibly can, and you got to get on the boards. You've got to get on, and your matchups have to be good. You have to match them up in the right way. Denver Jones, whatever his name is from Auburn, did a good job on Sears, and you've just got to be able to do the things defensively, get the loose balls. Do not give up cheap baskets off the board, off the run out. Don't let them get something on the defensive glass where they throw that long outlet pass to the side and throw that second pass down to the goal and lay it in. So those kinds of little things, the little bitty things there, are the difference in you win and lose. I don't know that I've answered your question, but for me, I mentioned all of it. Other two factors for your kids when they start shooting free throws: raise your elbow.
Try to get the elbow up.
Yeah, get the elbow up. If you don't, you're going to shoot it too flat.
Yeah, don't be like Ludacris.
Yeah.
Coach, I had this might be a topic for another day, but if you want to go there, we can. I had a couple listeners of the show. I was having a conversation with them the other day. Mark Sears came up, and one of the listeners said, yeah, he's the greatest player in Alabama basketball history. And I was like, wow, that's just a big statement. There have been a lot of great ones. And then I don't know if you want to comment on that or not, or if you have one that sticks out for you. And the way that I phrased it is, so let me ask it to you this way. I said, if your life's on the line and the Monstars are coming down and they're playing and it's going to be either it's all over for you or you get to keep going and you get to pick one former Alabama player ever to be on your basketball team, who's it going to be? Better yet, if it's one-on-one, who's the one guy that you would pick? I can tell you who I picked later in the conversation.
I'll disappoint you.
Okay.
I won't pick one.
That is disappointing.
I don't think you should. I don't think there is a best.
Well, I took Sprewell. I'll tell you, I don't care, Coach. I took Sprewell.
That's fine. You took Sprewell. That's fine. Spree's a good player. He's a really good player. I just don't think you take. I have always been very careful not to compare teams, coaches, and players because I know they all in different eras, all do different things. Mark Sears' kid is Muscle Shoals. I'm from Florence. So
great player.
Certainly drag on him. Yeah, he is. He's very good. But I'm very, very careful not to. I get asked every day, not every day, but every week, who's the best player you ever coached? And I never answer it. I had a bunch of good ones, and they played the way I asked them to play. If they played the way I asked them to play, and things didn't go good, it's on me. I want somebody that's go, play hard, play together, have skill, defend, and those kinds of things. And our teams did. Our teams, did all those kinds of things. Did we win every game? No. So I have that asked me all the time, and you're gonna hang up and say, I didn't answer that, but I
shouldn't have asked. I should have known better.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
I don't know why. I don't know why you just won't say Sprewell, Coach.
Well, Sprewell's good. He's no doubt about it. He's.
I have a hard time saying Mark Sears number one, personally.
Well, let me ask it to you this way, Coach.
I take Brandon Miller over Sears.
That was one player that
this is play. Like if I have to have a guy, I'd take Colin Sexton over Sears.
Yeah, well,
I know
Remember now, you got to play both ends. You got to play both ends of the floor.
Did Colin not play defense? I don't remember.
And how did those two play on defense? I don't even know.
That's right. You don't know. and you got to get that basketball to that open guy.
Let me phrase it to you this way.
Basketball. One other thing, basketball. I've said this 5 times. We'll say it again. Basketball is a game of angles. The dribble to the left by one dribble taking you somewhere.
The dribble will take you there.
On the floor. It'll take you there. Listen to me.
Elbow up.
It will improve the angle.
Use the backboard.
I would imagine that blocking in football is an angle game.
A lot of geometry.
I guarantee you, quarterbacking is to some degree. In some parts of it. Anyway.
Yeah, they angle their discussions to why they're so important often. There's a lot of angles there.
Yeah, that's right.
Let me ask it to you this way, Coach. I'll phrase it a little bit differently. Who is a player that should be in those conversations that you coached that you don't feel like ever arrives in those conversations?
Terry Connor, my point guard. Gary Waite's my point guard. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
I would say that because they didn't look to
right.
score. They got the ball. A kid named Mike Nordhaus, who was a great player for me. They scored when they could. They had the right angles. The dribble took them somewhere. They defended, and that was just me.
Let me ask you one more while we're talking.
I was not fun. You probably know this already. You don't even know me that well, but I wasn't fun to play for.
No. Nobody believes that, Coach.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: was Antonio McDyess?
Greg does.
Hey,
I believe it.
Was Antonio McDyess did he kind of come around too early? Like, how good would he have been in today's basketball?
Oh, he's been great. I didn't have him, but he was very good. He played for David. He was a terrific player. I had a kid named Bobby Lee Hurt. What a player! He's going in the Huntsville Hall of Fame. I called him last night, and we talked for a few minutes last night, and he's going in the Hall of Fame. And I set him down, trying to get him to sign with a bucket of chicken. And he sat behind the desk at a CPA at a buddy of mine's in Huntsville. When I got through talking to him for 3 hours, and he ate all the chicken, he got up and came out, leaned against the wall, and he said, "Coach, I'm still going to Hawaii."
Wait, where was he going?
He's going to Hawaii.
Hawaii?
And he's going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
He's going, you know why? They paid him $8 an hour to cut sugar cane.
Really?
$8 an hour to cut sugar cane. That's where he was going to go. So that's a 2-year deal. Well, some of your people followed me in a truck while I was up there recruiting. When I started recruiting him, I was assistant. When I got the job, I was the head coach.
What was his name? Bobby Lee Hoyt?
Bobby Lee Hurt. Bobby Lee
Did he have a good career at Hawaii or Hawaii?
Yeah, he didn't go. Anyway.
Hold on, he never made it to Hawaii?
It's Friday afternoon. Oh, he went. It's Gomer Powell was over there. Now get this, Gomer Powell's over there. I went to Coach Bryant. I said, "Coach, we're about to lose Bobby Lee. Gomer Powell doesn't know we're recruiting him, and he's recruiting him for Hawaii." I said, "You need to call him for me." He said, "I'll get him." I go back in there about 4 or 5 hours. He said, "Coach, I can't get him. He's on a ship in Hawaii. He's in a ship somewhere. I can't get to him. He's on a ship." And I said, "Oh crap! We're gonna lose a guy over $8 worth of sugar cane." So he couldn't get a hold of it. We finally sent a shore to ship text, or whatever you want to call it, to him and said, "Gomer, get off of Bobby Lee. Do not recruit Bobby Lee. Get off of him. Your alma mater is trying to get him." And so it's Friday afternoon. Jerry Rice, the coach, I've told this 50 times. I'll tell it again. Jerry Rice, the coach, calls me in. Hawaii comes back. They're either on the West Coast. They fly back in that Friday afternoon. We go in the meeting. Jerry says, "Hey, Monday morning, Bobby Lee, I've had enough of this crap. Monday morning, Bobby Lee is going to come in here and announce where he's going to school. Do you understand that?" I said, yes, I do. The two assistants from one head assistant said they did. I don't want anybody talking to him, being around his parents, anything. But and Monday morning he's going to walk in and tell him where he's going to school. I've been working on him 2 years. As soon as the meeting is over with, I got in my car and went straight to his house. And I had a state car. And they later told me about 2 or 3 years after that they went to a motel, and they said, I wonder where Wimp might be. They got in the car. They came out there and caught me at his house. They said to me, Why would you lie to Jerry? I said, I had my hand behind my back and my fingers crossed. And my mother told me that didn't count. It wasn't a lie. And so and we got him, and it was sugarcane deal with, and this day and time, $8 an hour cutting sugarcane, that wasn't much, but
he still has the highest field goal percentage in a single season in Alabama basketball history.
Yeah, he was a Bobby Lee was some. He would come into me. You know, sometimes you would get mad. You think my personality. He would walk into me. He said, Coach, how long's practice today? Well, he is going to practice so cotton picking hard that nobody can even catch him. He said, I got something I got to do. I got to see so and so. I said, Bobby Lee, okay, we're going to go 1 hour and 45. I was back in January or something, and he practiced his fanny off, and Bobby Lee hurt, and he is some great kid.
Coach, what was the Gomer Pyle reference in that story? I'm completely lost on that one.
You are? Gomer Pyle had called him and told him if he would come to Hawaii, he would pay him $8. Gomer Pyle lives in Hawaii.
Are you talking about Jim Neighbors?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he lives there in the off season.
Gotcha. I'm just making sure.
He comes. You come. I promise you, Bobby Lee, I'll give you $8 an hour to cut sugar cane. And so, I got all worried about that. So I just
the NCAA's calling, Coach.
No, I don't care. So anyway, I got a guy that played football as a daddy on the car lot. I got the picture right here, Sports Illustrated. He owned the car lot. If the phone rang in that car lot, you'd have to turn over 15 old cars to look under to answer the phone. I mean, it was that kind of car lot. It was a junk car lot. He's passed away now. I went to the service. He said, I'll put a car together for him. He said, it won't be much. He put a car together for him, and one of y'all's friends came up there and tried to turn me into the NCAA. He put a car together for him, and you know what I'm talking about. And he put a car. That booger bear wouldn't go past it wouldn't go anywhere. It was the worst looking old car you've ever seen. And Bobby Lee supposedly was supposed to work for that car. Well, I mean, it was awful. And we ended up getting turned into the NCAA because they said we bought the guy a car. Bought the guy a car is all he wouldn't even hardly run. And so we ended up getting him, and that was the team that beat UCLA out in California when they were number 1. So that's a Bobby Lee Hurt story. You looked him up?
I looked him up.
You looked him up? Yeah.
Single season field goal percentage record holder at Alabama. Drafted by Golden State. Probably more impressive what he did in his high school tournament, his senior year, the 4A tournament, where he scored 103 points in 4 games, 68 rebounds, 26 blocks, and 17 assists.
I know you want to get rid of him. I'm going to tell you this story. I go to Leeds, Alabama to recruit Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley has a hint that Bobby Lee Hurt is coming with us, and he don't want to go because of Bobby Lee Hurt. You can ask Charles. He don't want to come. So I go in, not knowing that his mother is sitting next to myself and the assistant coach. His grandmother's behind the curtain listening to the conversation, and I said, look, you come to Alabama for an afternoon game, you're home for dark. I said, you go to whatever. I talked about the distance. The grandmother said, out of the clear blue, Coach, it's just as close to Auburn over the mountain. Those are her exact words. I punched my assistant. I said, Sonny's bought him a car. I said, Sonny's bought the Booger Bear car. And we walked out, and I called Sonny about 2 or 3 days later, Sonny Smith, who's coach. I said, Sonny, did you buy him a car? He said it was an old one. Well, Barkley, you ever have Barkley on your show, you ask him about that. He didn't want to come because Bobby Lee Hurt was coming, and he got that rumor, and he thought we'd bought Bobby Lee a car.
Coach, it was amazing. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, you guys are great.
Coke and Piggly Wiggly.
Coke. I appreciate Coke and Piggly Wiggly. I appreciate you guys. Y'all let me stay a long time, but most time you run me off.
I never run you off, Coach. I just sometimes it feels like you're ready to go.
Piggly Wiggly and Coke are great. Coke's great. Piggly Wiggly will put a smile on your face. You can't beat Stanley and Andy in that bunch. So go by Piggly Wiggly, get you some groceries, drink some Coke, and listen to y'all show all the time because I do it all the time. Thanks.
Dribble will take you there. Elbow up. Yeah. Backboard is your friend.
Yeah,
done.
That's exactly right.
Done.
Let the dribble take you somewhere. Don't grab the ball and dribble it. Bye.
Bye. That's the Coach Wimp Sanderson joining us on the Buyers Right Hotline. Thanks to our friends at Coke and Piggly Wiggly. We may or may not be back right after this. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, 9:29, Thursday, March the 6th. Jocks 94.5. Saw a graphic from On3, Greg, listing college quarterback power rankings. course, it's per CBS Sports. Wouldn't necessarily be their content that they would make a graphic out of. I was a little surprised with some of the rankings based on some of the proven commodities that have been back in college football coming back this year. But I want to phrase it a little bit of a different way because you and I were talking some of the best of the SEC coming up this season. If you are an NFL franchise right now, you could draft a current SEC quarterback.
Yeah.
To be your guy moving forward. So the whole age, how many years you've been out of high school, does not matter. A quarterback who will be in the SEC this fall. I realize there's another transfer window that can happen, whatever.
Could. Doesn't mean it will.
Who might that quarterback be for you today? You have carte blanche to change this moving forward. This is just today. There will be no graphics made that you stated this forever.
I still lean Nussmeier.
CBS, by the way, per On3 graphic, has Nussmeier 6th in college football. Now, I realize it's not just the SEC, but there is an SEC quarterback ahead of him.
Ooh. Trying to think of who the quarterback would be in front of. Oh, Arch.
Mm-hmm.
Little bold, right?
A little bit. We've seen a smidge, not a ton.
You're saying
I would definitely say Garrett Nussmeier is a more proven commodity.
You're saying that playing matters.
Somewhat.
Kind of.
In a roundabout way.
So you're telling me that it's important to go and figure out a way to play before you get ranked.
Preferably complete passes and not throw interceptions when you do for yards.
Yards do help.
Points also good along with wins.
Not a bad thing.
Can assist in how I view you.
We'll aid in that.
Absolutely. If you're looking for aid with your energy or you're not getting poor sleep, and it could be the effects of low testosterone. If you feel on edge, Game Day Men's Health wants to help you with that. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today, and you can sign up for a free consultation. That's right, free, no charge right now. They'll give you a PSA test, testosterone test, and for free, you'll see exactly where you are. They're going to have multiple programs that could potentially help you, including weight loss programs and peptides for many ailments. Holistic approach to health and wellness, great people. Not going to try to press you into services that you don't need. Minimal upfront cost for the programs that they offer at Game Day Men's Health. So do what a lot of our listeners have done. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com today. Sign up for your free consultation. Go in, get the PSA test, the testosterone test for free, and see what they can do for you. Save 10% when you mention Cube when you walk in the front door. It's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. The On3/CBS list is as follows. Top 10. Arch, Cade, Carson, Drew, Sam, Garrett, Lenoris, Sawyer, Rocco, DJ. Your top 10.
DJ. Uyunglele?
He is out of college football. He entered his name into the NFL draft.
Shockley.
Also out of college football. However,
Daniel Jeremiah.
Khaled?
Is there one that you maybe would, outside of Nussmeier, I think you may move him up?
Yeah, I'd move him up.
If we're going all of college football, I'm assuming Arch is not your number one right now.
Not my number one right now.
Is it Klubnik?
Probably. I think if you had to have a guy that's played, that showed progress, that I think he's in a really good position to take a step this year. Like he would be at or near the top. I'm not sure there's a whole lot to feel bad about with him. Other quarterbacks of significance, there's a lot of good ones, I feel like, but there's not a lot.
Let me ask you this. What's our hold up on Carson Beck right now? Because this time a year ago, he was the shoe-in to be the number one overall pick, and he had all the ability. And
love him. Still love him.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that he doesn't have skill and can't be great, but what has happened that has forced a lot of us to take a step back on our Carson Beck thoughts?
Well, he's injured. That's first. I need to know that he's going to be at 100%. I don't know that. I think he will be. Feel pretty confident in it, to be honest with you, but okay. I don't know that for sure.
But what if we just went based on his play from a year ago? What about that has people sort of not really as sure as they were a year ago?
One thing that bothers me a little bit about this past year is I feel like he was reading his press clippings.
No.
Yeah. I think a lot of guys do.
You think he's on social a bit too much?
I think a lot of guys like to know what's being said. I think there are guys in this state that struggled with that last year. A lot. Read the hype, believe the hype. Next thing you know, you go in a different direction. You don't play well, you start to press because people are now knocking your draft grade, and you start to press, you throw picks. And then actually, if you look at how he played down the stretch, it's pretty good. The guy had 1 million drops last year. The receivers were terrible.
He did have drops in and the protection was not great a lot of the time.
Protection was terrible. I mean, you look at his worst games and he's getting his freaking tail kicked. So I don't think it's a fair assessment from him. I think he's going to have a huge year. I really do. If he's healthy.
It's a great offense for him.
It's a great offense for him. And if he's healthy, he's going to have a great year.
Okay. When we come back, I'll ask Greg this question. Of those top 10, who should be moved up the most, or who will move up the most in his mind from now until the end of the regular season? Also, a new deal for a college coach that puts him in uncharted waters financially. We'll tell you both of those right after this on Mac and Cube in the morning. $9:39 Thursday, March the 6th, right here on McElroy and Cubelic in the morning. Appreciate all the feedback today, phone calls, tweets, texts into the show on words that we may pronounce different ways.
I think that's the right way of saying it. Or people that pronounce stuff wrong versus people that pronounce stuff right.
Or incorrectly.
or correct or incorrect or perfectly or terrible.
Either one.
Or terrible.
Terrible.
Could we have had a better guest to follow up that hour and a half of radio? I don't think we could have planned it any better. We literally could not have scripted that any better. Literally or literally?
Literally.
That's Chris Traeger. It's literally.
I don't know who Chris Traeger is.
That's Rob Lowe's character on Parks and Rec.
Got it.
Noted. Also the guy, trying to think. Yeah. Yeah, he says literally. Yeah.
Literally?
Yeah.
Literally? I believe Nance would say literally.
Probably
By the way, how great is it that Coach still referenced Gomer Pyle as Gomer Pyle?
Yeah. Oh.
Like in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good.
I literally didn't even know who Gomer Pyle was until I looked it up.
Hold on a second. Like, not even the character?
I mean, I've seen the Andy Griffith Show, but like, I don't even think about it.
That's that California / Texas, man.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it before, but like, I haven't seen it enough to.
Did you know Jim Neighbors attended Alabama?
I did not.
Did you know he recruited against Alabama when he lived in Honolulu?
I did not.
That I did not know either.
Nope. But his ashes are sprinkled in Honolulu, Hawaii. That's his resting place.
I did like how Coach said they called him and just shut him down. And they like Hawaii now. Stop.
Ship to shore, baby.
Think about how much recruiting has changed.
You think?
We got you a job to come here. As opposed to
for $8 an hour.
Here's how much we can pay you to do how little you're actually going to have to do when you come here.
Like a backbreaking job, too.
Correct.
Not like a fake little, just sit here and look at papers.
Labor.
No.
Amazing. From Sylacauga, by the way, Jim Neighbors.
Yeah, I saw this as of right now. Like, and all this is, I mean, I've heard the name Gomer Pyle. I've seen the Andy Griffith Show. I've seen the character, but I did not know very much of the background. But yeah, from Sylacauga, right down 280.
280 or 280?
280. 280. No, that's what you say when you're getting ready to snap the ball. 280.
Oh, no. If you want to start talking about cadences, there's a lot of things pronounced different ways.
280.
Kind of has to be, though, to stretch it out. You got to stretch them out.
Yeah. Well,
for different reasons.
You don't have to stretch your budget if you go buy a vehicle at Bill Smith Buick GMC. They're the dealer of the year for a reason. They've won 5 dealer of the year championships in a row. That makes them the national champion of GMC dealers. It's amazing the deals that they have on the lot. They are getting better and better and better as time moves forward. They're the largest GMC dealer in Alabama. They also can pass on the largest discounts because their overhead is lower than those that are local here. You can just take a short drive to Coleman and save $10,000. I think I'll do that. That's for sure. They are professional grade. You can go get yourself a GMC Sierra 1500 4x4 with leather. It's a loaded vehicle. $65,795 is what you'd pay here locally. But if you want to drive to Coleman, you'll pay $52,795. That's $13,000 off what you would pay here in town. I'll drive to Coleman and save $13,000 to pay just under $53,000 for a brand new vehicle, a GMC Sierra that is beautiful and loaded. Take the short drive to Coleman. You'll be glad you did. You can also shop online, have delivered right to your driveway at BillSmithBuickGMC.com.
A new deal for a new coach in college football. Dan Lanning has an extension, Greg. 6-year contract's been amended that increases his annual pay by $2 million. Fully guaranteed deal that will now average around $11 million annually.
Was it because he was threatening to leave?
Once again, goes back to...
I do think he was in pursuit of the NFL. I think the NFL was definitely intrigued by him. For sure.
He does have a $20 million payout if he leaves.
He has to pay it back?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, now he's not going anywhere. But I do think there's... the NFL is intrigued by bringing these guys in. For sure. That's what I think happened to Marcus Freeman. That's what I think happened to Dan Lanning. That's why they got paid. Because they're not leaving their college jobs.
You wouldn't think so.
Marcus Freeman could have, maybe before
Lanning
he got.
Could have. Lanning's had other jobs he could have taken.
His deal was too prohibitive.
Well,
as someone that knows the intricacies.
Well, no, but as far as if he really wanted to get to another job, it could have happened.
I honestly
people
don't
have pursued him.
I literally don't think
that way.
People have pursued him. Nobody could afford the buyout because they happened once before.
That could have afforded it.
It happened
if they really wanted it.
Yeah, but nobody really wanted it.
A lot.
It's a lot.
Now it's even more.
Yes.
So we can stop the Dan Lanning to wherever because there's $20 million owed if he leaves.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be on every short list every year, always, forever and always.
All right, when we come back.
When A&M can't afford the buyout, no one can afford the buyout.
Again, I wouldn't say that. I would not say they couldn't afford it. I was just saying.
I am saying it.
I don't know if people are willing to put that up for that.
Nah. Not for the opportunity to go negotiate.
Correct. All right. Not backed by popular demand because many have tried to have it canceled. We will have the bad box score of the day next. All right, welcome back in. McElroy and Cubelic in the morning, Thursday, March 6th, right here on Jocks 94.5. I mentioned if you love hoops, today is your day. Today, the first day, Philly really feels like March. We mentioned Jacksonville, UNA, and the ASUN semi or semifinal, 6 p.m. ESPN Plus. You also have FAU at UAB tonight, 6 o'clock on ESPN2. UAB looking to get to 20 wins on the season. Alabama State's at Southern, 8 o'clock. Alabama A&M is at Grambling, 8:30 tonight. You also have the MVC first round at noon, the WCC first round at 4:30, the Sunbelt third round at 5, the Summit quarters at 6, the Patriot quarters at 6, the OVC quarters at 6, and the Horizon quarters at 7. Conference tournament's going. We are lit. It is happening. March is here.
I love it. I love this time of year. So much fun.
Your CBD store also here for you. Arthritis, anxiety for you and your pet, by the way. If you need help with sleep, if you need help with weight loss, your CBD store has products on their shelves. And they're the first company to have USDA certified organic oil supplements. They have the stamp seal on those products. They're going to meet and achieve a certain set of standards at the largest brick and mortar CBD retailer in the world. Skincare, gut health for you or your pet. They can help you in a lot of different ways. Focus throughout the course of the days. Energy throughout the course of the day. Visit one of their 3 locations. Highway 280 by Bailey Brothers, 150 by the Cage in Cleaver. Trustful just off 459, your CBD store where good health hits home. Let's get to the bad box scores of the day.
Personal foul, 69, offense. He was giving them the business.
Intentional grounding, offense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. I'm talking to America here, excuse me.
That's the game.
We'll go to JUCO Women's Hoops. Yesterday, the Hill College
Hawks.
No.
Harvesters.
Incorrect.
No, they are the wildebeest.
They're the Rebels. Their mascot is a horse. So,
Ooh, I like that.
Whatever you want. They just went down to the Grayson College.
Grapes.
No.
Greyhawks.
Great guess. No.
Oh, so that means they're the Red Hawks.
Is there a Greyhawk?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's in Scottsdale. It's a great golf course.
Exactamundo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The
Named after a golf course.
Vikings just snuck past the Rebels 91-36 yesterday.
Okay. No problem.
It's tournament time, right?
This was not a tournament game.
Okay.
But it is tournament time. We'll get to one of those in just a moment.
Oh, boy.
Tournament or tournament?
Your score after one period, 23-3. Your score at the half was 45-15.
Yuck.
Okay.
I do not have numbers from Hill College. Also don't have numbers from
Hill College guy.
Grayson College. There were no statistics provided. I'm just giving you the score.
It's a different world where you come from.
Similar to Southern Crescent Technical College.
They are the Saints.
They're not.
The Aints.
In this game, they were.
No, they're the Croissants.
Also the Tigers.
Oh.
They just went down to the East Georgia State
Eagles.
No.
Mountain Lions.
Yellow Jackets.
Bobcats. 96-23 yesterday.
All right. All right.
Now, this is another one that after searching both team websites and junior college websites, there are no statistics provided.
Why?
Probably
because it got
one side didn't want them.
Think it got that bad?
Well,
you won't like them.
96-23. Yeah, it did get that bad.
And
unfortunately, I can't give you details on that 96-23.
Don't need it.
That's it. Now, Damien, I will take you to the NJCAA Region 20 quarterfinals.
Here we go.
Or quarterfinals.
Water.
Where the Hagerstown Community College.
They are the Red Hawks.
Technically, no.
They're the Hawks.
They are just the Hawks.
There we go.
And they just went down to the CCBC Essex.
Countrymen.
I'm about to say country clubs.
Knights. Who are now 28-1, 11-0 in conference.
Oh, they cooking.
All the way.
They won 101-51 yesterday in the quarterfinals of the Region 20 NJCAA tournament.
Leave no doubt.
Definitely didn't.
Wow.
Hagerstown went 20 of 65 from the floor.
Oh, so they struggled.
Now, they did go 10 of 23 from three. Most of that work done by Amelia Robbins in the loss, played all 40 minutes, was 9 of 25 from the floor, 6 of 12 from three for 24 points.
Get on my back, girls.
Unfortunately, turned it over 12 times.
Okay, well.
She's doing everything.
Including giving the ball to the other team.
Somebody else got to pick it up.
Now,
if someone else would go and not turn it over, then fine.
Hagerstown did limit it to just 26 turnovers for the game. And how this happens on 65 possessions, they shot 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 65 possessions, 2 free throws.
The refs are in the bag.
Now,
Been in the bag.
Gotta be
for
cooking.
CCBC Essex, they shot the ball 87 times in the game.
As they should.
41 of 87 they finished. Paige Smith, 10 of 25 of 12 from 3 for 25 points. They're 11 of 31 from 3, 23 offensive rebounds.
Oh, that's just unacceptable.
Paige been getting buckets.
41 of 87 and had 23 offensive rebounds.
They just wanted it more.
They just out-rebounded them 54-40.
Let's go.
It happens.
It's tournament time. They're turning up.
19 steals on those 26 turnovers.
About time someone
well.
named Paige got with the winner.
Well, of course. 101-51, an obvious bad box score of the day. Your points off turnovers, 32-9 in that game.
32-9.
Points in the paint, 56-6.
That's where they got them. That's where they got them.
That's a lot.
They couldn't stop them.
There was a small discrepancy off the bench as CCBC Essex outscored Hagerstown 37-3.
Oh, that's
off the bench.
Oh, they're winning it. They're winning it all.
Definitely.
Fast break may have also helped where they outscored them 20-2.
No hustling them, nothing.
I'm here for it.
Don't need hustle.
Those are your multiple bad
Too breaded
box
to play
scores
defense.
Of the day.
It's the NIL era. We're just seeing bad defense all over the place now.
Oh, what do we have? An NBA game with two teams in the 130s yesterday?
Must have missed that one.
2 days ago, maybe it was.
Yes, I think it was.
It was
138, 131.
Something along those lines. Not a lot of defense.
None.
Zero. Not a single ounce of it.
No defense. No defense.
Correct.
That's what they were playing defense, not defense. That was their problem. Yep.
That's exactly what it was. The old defense.
Appreciate Alex McGough joining us today. The coach, Wimp Sanderson. If you missed the coach today, you want to go back and find that podcast. It was great today. JocksFM.com, Apple Podcast, Spotify, also in the app. Just search Jocks, WJOX in your app store. You can get it there. Go back and watch the show on YouTube if you missed it. Search Jocks945 on YouTube. Coming up tomorrow, we will get you set for the weekend and ask you this question. Who will have the best defense in the Southeastern Conference next season? Football, not basketball. We're back tomorrow, 7 to 10. 3-Man Front is next.